strong, can't stop, won't stop from the Brooklyn block. B-R-O-O-K-L-Y-N, 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 B-R-O-O-K, we well. Okay, we well. Okay, we well. Okay, we well. B-R-O-O-K-L-Y-N.
That hit. Cam Thomas.
Just give me the ball, I'm fitting the score next. My J is all net, me and Jay just all next. Getting back on defense, hit him with strong flex. I'm official like a ref, trying not to get attacked. And we go hard on Brooklyn, that's a promise. Watch me like a Cam, cause it's my time. Mitchell, watch me like a Cam, cause it's my time. Switch, they can't guard me, especially side the Barclays. Spin between crosses, I can score with both hands. Midi flawless, and I get to paint like an artist. I'm a boss smith, so you should respect my handle. I see the big picture with the Nets like a mantle. In the future, I see us as champs too. And when we do, I'ma do a Brooklyn dance move. To stir that or Millie rock like a fan do. That's a bet like my parlay on FanDuel.
B-R-O-O-K-L-Y-N, B-R-O-O-K-L-Y-N, B-R-O-O-K-L-Y-N.
Yo, it's Big Fan Breezy with the Brooklyn Nets blog. Shout out to all the Nets fans. We the best fans. Listen, the Nets beat the Knicks today. I mean, we broke the streak, but technically it don't count. It ain't the regular season, but it was good to see us win that game. We 2-1 in the Summer League, and some notable things I noticed. One is that we seem to be a second half team. You know what I'm saying? Which shows good and bad. Excuse me. I would like for us to shoot better in the beginning of the game. But showing that we a second half team shows that we are reliable, persistent. Hold on. Yeah, pardon. Basically, I was just saying that I like the fact that we a second half team. I like the fact that we resilient, we persevere, shows character, shows grit. But the one thing that I didn't like that's consistent with the Brooklyn Nets, and I won't say the Long Island Nets, but this summer league team, is there's too many 3-pointers. You know what I mean? When the Knicks were up big, they had like 6 3-pointer attempts, and the rest was them getting to the basket, and I guess strategically taking the 3-ball when available from the kick out, from the drive and kick. So that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Our style of play can't be 3 first, 2-ball second. You know, we got to be a team that put pressure on the rim, try to offensive rebound when we can, or crash boards. I think the identity of our team is getting downhill. And then even Darrick Whitehead, you know, I think Darrick Whitehead having these bad games because he's trying to get hot from the 3-pointer opposed to the 2-pointer. You know what I mean? I want to see Darrick Whitehead go to the basket more. You know what I mean? I just think he's taking these 3-pointers and he's starting his offense with 3-pointers, and I think that's where he's going wrong at. I think if he was to start driving to the, you know what I'm saying, to the basket a little bit more, maybe even trying to develop a post game, you know what I mean, where he could get to the midi, the little fadeaway, you know what I'm saying? I think that Darrick Whitehead could be a better player. I don't think he's NBA ready right now. I think he definitely is a player that should go to the G League and make his way up the same way Noah Clowney and Jalen Wilson did. Now, Darrick Whitehead getting a lot of minutes in the G League is a good thing. You've seen it successful for everybody pretty much that's on the Nets rotation that had the 2-way contract like a Jalen Wilson. Jalen Wilson probably won't be in the G League at all next season. He playing like a starter. You know what I'm saying? I think he a better starter than Mikal Bridges. You know what I mean? I think he fits the role better. He's better at the role, at the position. I think that's what it is. Which is what interests me in Jalen Wilson in the first place. Him just being consistent at what he do. They had a question with Jalen Wilson. They asked him. They said, um, what do you? They said, what do you? You know what I mean? Want to work on for your second year? And he was just like, staying competitive, just staying consistent. He ain't really give you no stat line like, yo, I want to be 20-8 or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? He was just being honest, like, yo, I just want to, you know what I mean, stay consistent, stay competitive, and see what I can learn. And, I like that. I think he is Brooklyn Nets basketball. He's grit, you know what I'm saying, perseverance. He's determined, real focus. He stay down till you get up. You don't see him complaining about no minutes or anything like that. Never seem disgruntled. Always see happy. And he's really somebody that became. I would say he's somebody that became. He was ready for the opportunity. When the opportunity came his way, he was ready for it. So I like that. It shows that he could play under the quote unquote bright lights. And I see him being one of the best small forwards that the Nets ever had, especially as recent. I think one day we're going to be talking about him with Kendall Gill or Kerry Kittles, even though he played the two. But I think Jalen Wilson will make these conversations. We got Joey BK on the panel. I mean, why wouldn't we like Jalen Wilson? Yeah, 27 points on the Knicks. But that's how I feel about Jalen Wilson. We're gonna go to Joey BK. Just give us a quick commercial, Joey BK, where they can find your content on Facebook, and then let us know how you feel about Jalen Wilson.
You know what I'm saying? You can got a group on Facebook, Nets Nation, man. Come. If you're in the book, you can come follow and support and help grow the page. And on X, Joey BK, man. What's good, Breezy?
Chilling, man. We was watching the summer league game. I was seeing some of it, but talk to me what you seen with Jalen Wilson today earlier in Vegas in the summer league. How you felt about him?
I mean, Jalen. I mean, what more can I say, man? It's just like I'm gonna just keep repeating myself. I've been saying this shit since the first summer league he played. I'm like, yo, this kid Jalen Wilson is different. He got a fucking high motor, and you can't fucking teach that, bro. And he's just a winner, man. Like the kid is gonna go out there and fucking battle, and he gonna fucking play his hardest. And he may not be the most skilled, but he's one of those players that get it done. You know what I mean? He's a winner. He's a fucking winner. So, I see,
Yeah,
I
he
see
got
him.
accolades too, and his accolades prove it too with in college.
Yeah, for
That we
sure.
not. I don't. Just for the fans that's listening, we not just how you say it, nonchalantly saying that he a winner. Look, check out him when he played for Kansas. He's a 4-year player. He's a player that it defines with the direction of the Brooklyn
I think
Nets.
they won. I think he won a chip. Did he win a chip at Kansas? I don't know if he did. I think he did. Um, I know he won a Big 12 joint, and I know he won the Conference Player of the Year. I know he that for sure. But it's just it's just certain things you can't teach, man. And I think from me just paying attention to this young man, I just think he has a hard work ethic. And I think every time I see him on the floor, he gives 110%, bro. Like he may not be the most talented, you know what I mean, player. He may not have the most sexiest game, no homo, but pause, excuse me. But he gets it done. It's just he's one of those players that gets it done. It may not be pretty all the time, but he gets it done. He knows how to
Yeah,
win. He's gonna go out there and fucking battle. Period. That's
yeah.
just Jalen Wilson.
Yeah, and again, I want to slow it down. Of course, we're going to speak about more things, but I want to give Jalen Wilson his flowers. You know what I'm saying? He's been one of the more consistent players. And every time somebody else do something, it seems like they get a little more acknowledgement. Even a Noah Clowney There's different players that would get acknowledgement
Fact.
over Jalen Wilson, and I just want to shine. And I think that's because of Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson and DFS. And I'm saying
Uh,
that because these are the three small forwards that's supposed to be in front of him in the lineup, right?
yeah.
So he would be the fourth string small forward. So I want to say shout to Jalen Wilson for holding it down as the
Yeah,
fourth
man.
string small forward that was in the G League. And number wise, he's shooting better than DFS. He's shooting better than Cam Johnson.
Yeah.
Fuck that. He's shooting better
Hey,
than Mikal Bridges.
hey, Breezy.
So
I ain't saying that Marks hit 4.56 on Jalen, but he at least hit trips. If you play CeeLo, you know
yeah,
what I'm talking about. He hit something, and
yeah.
he also hit on Cam Thomas. So he's
Listen,
hit a
we
couple of
gotta
times.
right. We gonna get to that. Because me and Joe, we got different perspectives about the draft. I mean not different. Well, different from other Nets fans. I'll say that. Shout to Easy. We about to rotate the Easy. But again, the thing of if you take off the names and you just look at the numbers, Jalen Wilson is the better player out of the four that I mentioned between Mikal Bridges, Jalen Wilson, DFS, and Cam Johnson. When you look at the box score, forget who's who and who like who and who did what. Talking about last season, and yeah, it's a far cry because the games played. So, and I mean that's 82 versus whatever Jalen Wilson did. But I'll tell you this: Jalen Wilson has more morale and showed that he wanted to be more of a Brooklyn Nets player than Mikal ever did. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to bash Mikal Bridges, but I want to say I like the fact that our guys showed up. Cam Thomas, Dayron Sharp, you know what I'm saying? He showed up, and I ain't see Mikal Bridges. It was a whole G League game. That all of the Nets players there, but you not there. Like, he weird to me, bro. He weird to me. But again, I think more of anything, the fact that we got this rebuild conversation, but I just want to talk about the core. Then we're gonna go to easy. I just want to say this about the core. You gotta add Jalen Wilson to the core. Even if you got Cam Thomas, and y'all know I got Cam Thomas. Even with me saying Cam Thomas, Jalen Wilson has become more and more important to this ball club, to this franchise. And as a fan, I'm happy to see it. So when you mention the core, mention Jalen Wilson. I appreciate that. We're gonna go to Easy. Talk to us, Easy. You see the title, man. How you feel about it, man?
Yo, Breeze, what's the word? Joey, what's good, yo?
Chilling, easy.
Yo, we here with the Nets podcast talking our shit right here. I mean, I see your title, but like me personally, Breeze, pardon me personally, I don't really take like summer league all the way into like a high regard because there's so much variance and so much going on with summer league and like the Las Vegas and all that shit like that. Like they traveling, all type of crazy shit that's happening with their time right now. I can't take everything I see right now like as a concrete word. So like you could pay attention to some things. So like I like that point. I forgot which stream it was. I think it was last stream, but somebody brought up a good point. Jalen Wilson looking like a combination of Royce O'Neal and somebody else.
Josh Hart, Royce O'Neal, Josh Hart.
Royce O'Neal and Josh Hart. Yeah, Royce O'Neal and Josh Hart. I mean, if we got a player like that, that's a good player right there. Make sure just keep on doing their thing. Like summer league, there's a lot of variance going on to it. So I just like to see when the moment come. What does my young kids do? Like, what do they do? Like, how do you rise to the occasion? Because like, yeah, you could be doing all this, but that first game of the season, Derek, you haven't played one game of NBA basketball. So that first game of the season, when everybody right there, like, you're gonna have to perform it. Then you have to keep on performing after that for 82 games. Like, how you gonna look like after that? But so that's just how I feel about summer league. I mean, I respect everybody else's opinion about it, like what they want to what they telling us and like what they contribute to it. So like, I don't got no problem with it. So like, it's just me personally. I'm just not too much of a big of a summer league fan. But
But
real quick though, not to change topic. We can tap right back into the topic. But like, real quick, two quick things. One, shout out to my dog Big Priest. Shout out Big Priest, man, over there on Showtime on time. Showtime on Point Sports. Yeah, my boy was on playback today. Yeah, he made sure he showed people why DMX should have possibly a top 10 rap album of all time. Shout out to my
Okay.
dog Big Priest. Shout out to him. And plus number two, shout out to Kennedy Carter dropping 34 points on the Las Vegas Aces. You don't do that, y'all don't win. So shout out
Good.
to y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I,
Yeah.
shout
I
out to her
wanted to
specifically.
say, real quick, yo, Easy. I get what you're saying about the summer league. Like, I'm not taking anything Jalen Wilson. Basically, I'm not saying what I'm saying about Jalen Wilson because of summer league. Because
Right,
here's the thing: when the first summer league showed around, right, the first summer league he played in, I looked at that kid. I said, you know what, this kid is kind of different. But I'm gonna wait to see what he do when he get in the league, right?
right,
He got in the league. I watched him. I watched him play. And the thing I liked about him is he always was solid and he didn't play scared. He always battled.
right,
Period. So that to me says a lot about his fucking character. He's only looking this good. He's even looking better now because he has the NBA experience. He's a little bit more comfortable because he got the first year out the way, and I'm pretty sure he's worked on his game. So I say that to say this. I'm not basing it just off this summer league. I'm basing it. I've been watching this kid since the first summer league, and I've also seen if he was going to have that same energy in the NBA. And you know what? When we played him, he's had that same energy in the NBA. So with
Yeah.
that being said, I think he's going to take a leap this year.
Yeah.
That's
Hold on.
that's a
Hold
good
on. And
point. That's
again,
a good point.
it's
That's a good point.
easy. Easy. Also, I want you to know. I got you, Leaf. I'm gonna send you the link. Also, what I want you to know is I'm making a big deal out of Jalen Wilson because he's a late second round draft pick. And I hear what everything. Alex Saw 0 for
Wait,
15.
real
I
quick,
said,
Breeze.
look at that.
Real
Hold
quick,
on, let
Breeze.
me.
I'm not saying like make it like I'm not saying making Jalen Wilson making him a big deal is not a bad thing. I'm just saying me personally, I don't take summer league as like a big thing. But
No,
keep
no,
on
no.
going
Yeah,
before.
yeah, I get it. I don't take it as a real measuring stick either. But I mean, we
No,
seen
no.
what
This ain't
Jalen
just
had
about
run
the
in the league
summer
as
league,
well.
bro. This ain't just about the summer league. This is about other draft picks besides 1 and 2 can come in here and play the game, the winning game. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm saying is, you got fans like Andre 76 and Leaf thinking that it's all about Cam Thomas, and I'm right here trying to explain to y'all that it's not. When you talk about the core, I know y'all talking about the draft and how many players and what players we gonna get from the draft. But right before your eyes, you are looking at key pieces that should be together, part of chemistry, because that's what it
That's a
takes to
fact.
build a championship team too. So don't think it's just about adding
That's
new
true.
players, because with new players doesn't come
But
chemistry.
you know
But
what,
guess
Breezy? You know what, Breezy? Niggas ain't. That's a lot of Nets fans don't even really believe in young boys like that because they wasn't fucking top
Nah, they
10
got
picks and shit.
Joey. Joey, they
So
gotta listen. Joey, they gotta listen to the podcast, bro. Y'all gotta pay attention to Jalen Wilson. You gotta pay attention to Derek Whitehead for the G League, and him developing his next 2 seasons should be relevant to player development, because that's the direction of the Brooklyn Nets, and him being in the G League comfortably until he's ready to come to the Brooklyn Nets. That is the long and short of it for Derek Whitehead.
yeah, I think
So
Derek Whitehead, respectfully, I think it's going. I haven't seen him hit a shot, bro. I've been watching the
yeah,
summer league. I don't know. I've been watching the
yeah.
summer league on and off. I ain't seen him hit a shot all fuck every time I seen him play.
Yeah, yeah, nah, it's atrocious. His field
L-
goal percentage is not looking good.
Let me
But
say
guess
this
what?
though,
Guess what?
Breeze.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Not to cut you off, but let me say this though. Yeah, both of y'all making good points. It is good to like because you've been watching this guy for like not just this summer league, like last season and last summer league. So like you see the development right in front of your eyes. So you see like good things going on for him. Okay, so here my thing, right? Before I start, honest question, and it's hard to project this far because you don't even know what they're gonna do to the year after this one. When when do you see us like earliest? Which year or season do you see us contending?
Hold on, let me answer that question. Now, everybody know we supposed to be a bad team this season so we could get one of the high draft picks. But what if Clax Clowney and Cam Thomas had a different opinion and they said, fuck that, we fit in to compete. And this team turns out to be really good. And hold on, not just because I'm a fan, I'm just hypothetically, just to answer Easy's question, what if whatever production that we think that we're going to get from these draft players in 2025, 2026, we actually get from Clax Clowney and Cam Thomas and Jalen Wilson. Now, that don't seem likely, right? I'm guessing 2% might agree with that. But so let's answer easy question in the respective we going in the tanking direction. We will get these. We will be bad for 2 seasons, and in my opinion, based on the core we got now, and that's Clax Clowney, Cam Thomas, and Jalen Wilson. Right, Darrick Whitehead, I'm on the fence about. I mean, not Darrick. Day'Ron Sharpe, I would say keep him, but I don't know if they are. I would say I value him. We need a rebounder, and you can't expect Claxton to play 82 games. I like Day'Ron Sharpe for what he is. He's a better rebounder than a 3-point shooter. So I'm gonna say 3 to 4 seasons we should be looking to contend. Unless Mark's got some type of Sean Mark's trying to do something different that, you know what I mean, got the fans thinking different outside of what the draft picks look like.
Okay. And Joey, real quick. All right. So when do like the earliest you see us contending? Like which season or how long it might take?
I agree with Leaf. I see it. Excuse me. I said Leaf. My bad. I agree with Breezy. I say it's going to take at least 3 to 4 seasons. Minimum. I say that because you know what, we still don't know if we going what's going to happen in this draft and who we pick. We get some good if we hit it on the nail on the head, we get some solid players, or we luck up with a generational talent. You know what, these guys are still young, they still got to learn how to play together, so that's going to tack on maybe another 2 years before they actually get it. I would say about 3 years. And Marks even said that. He said this rebuild is going to be a short rebuild, maybe 3 years. 2 to 3 years, but I'm gonna say 3 to 4.
Okay. All right. And that's kind of reasonable. That's kind of reasonable. All right. That's kind of reasonable. All right. In 3 to 4 years' time, let's just say this front office is still here. Ado, what's the word? What up, yo? Let's just say the front office stays the same for the next 3 to 4 years. Right, and this is my thing, and this is where I kind of agree to my guy Leaf and my guy John to a certain degree. So my next question to y'all, right? Do you trust this front office to keep some of these players 4 years down the line? Because when if you pay attention to it, right? Because we're trying to get a top pick next year. Let me say that. We're trying to get a top pick next year. Hopefully 1 or 2, but that's the goal next year. And then the year after that, I mean, it's hard to project out that far for us, but we got to take it by the ear. But hopefully we trying to get a high draft pick at that year too, so we solidify. So at that point, you might be dealing with a Houston Rockets situation, right? So they had our picks for this draft, but they were willing to give it up because they have a lot of talent on their team to the point where they just saying man, we can't adding to our team. We already having problems with the rotation already. Who we gonna put in for these talent and how much time we gonna give them? Another talent's too much. So they just got off it. So we're gonna try to we're not in their position yet. Yeah, we like some of these players, but I mean, some of these players on our team are good, but there's I don't know how y'all feel about these players compared to the Houston Rockets talent, Jalen Green. I know Breeze will say Cam Thomas better than Jalen Green. And
Talk about
it's kind of a discussion. But Jalen Green made a case at the end of last season. He had made a case, but the talent on I don't want to stray too far from the point, but the talent on the Rockets, Jabari Smith, Cam Whitmore, Tara Eason, things like that. They got a lot of talent on their team. Shit like that. So my thing is 3 to 4 years time, we're gonna have even more young talent, And from what we've been talking about all the time when we all come up here and pull up, and even people in the chat, shout out to the people in the chat and the people that comment too after the video. They all give their input about the young talent that we're gonna get on the team. So we're always talking about Cooper Flag, Ace Bailey, Dylan Harper. We even go down the list, VJ Edgecombe, and shit like that. Like we go down the list. So like at that time, we're gonna have a lot of talent, right? Boom. Do you trust this front office to keep some of these players that y'all rating highly right now and toting right now, but in 4 to 5 years time they might package Jalen Wilson in a package to get like I don't know, like somebody else, you know what I'm saying, like a person that they think does what Jalen Wilson does, but on a better level. So like we saying Josh Hart mixed with Royce O'Neal, but it's hard to because one of the Josh Hart best abilities is like he's a great rebounding guard. Like he's one of the top rebounding guards in the league. So if you could get that ability on Jalen Wilson, that'd be great. And then like if you say like Royce O'Neal, he's one of the best. He's a good rotation player. So like good switch army blade. So like he could pass, he could dribble, he's good in the triple threat, things of that nature. So like you have a player like that. What happened in like 4 to 5 years time, and we probably contending or we looking good. He like, all right, we want to like do like a Indiana Pacers type of thing. Let's get Pascal in here, see how he performs with the team. If it's good, we just start tracking in that direction, even though we're still building up our young talent. But we're so good that, yo, with this guy on the team, we're even getting to the conference finals. So, hey, let's just keep on doing what we're doing. So my thing is, like, what happened if they, like, package a Jalen Wilson in a package to get, like, I don't know, who's a good switch army blade in the league? Like, somebody that's, like
blasphemous.
But I'm saying, though, Breeze.
That'll speak on Jalen Wilson. I heard you. Hey, easy. And I heard you say an upgrade. What's an upgrade from Jalen Wilson? He a dog.
I mean,
shit. Right, you talk about a bigger dog?
Let me think about it real quick.
That's for one. Like, yeah, you got to think about it. Because he for one, he untradeable. As far as the core, I just say he part of the core. Ain't nobody trading no Jalen Wilson. Now, like you said, if they was to go that route, they would have to pay more. And again, as far as Mark's his record and his rapport with free agency, it ain't good. And it's bad for business. They lose money that way. Case in point is Joe Sign in the business of losing money. I don't think that's the direction he going. I think he happy he cleaned up the mess he made and got those draft picks back. He trying to maneuver with those draft picks. He like, listen, I made a mess. I got a chance to clean it up. This is the direction we're going to go, or we're going to have to compete for a championship. So his job, his hot seat is either let me focus on the player development side or try to compete again. He went on a player development side, and I think he stays with that side. And I think if he's loyal to that side, it gives him a bigger window to win a real championship, and that's organically. I don't want to be long-winded. I heard Joey BK, he's finna say something. Go, we listening.
No, I was just gonna say I think niggas is kind of traumatized by the Harden trade or something. Like niggas is like, yo, what if Marks like trade somebody? I mean, it's always gonna be players on the move, bro. This is the NBA. You feel what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we want to keep our young guys together.
We could say no, though, Joey. We could say no.
Yeah, but listen to what I'm saying. We gotta be. What I'm saying is, you want to keep your young guys together. You want to grow your talent, but you also want to keep your ears to the street, and you also want to be optimistic about shit. You feel what I'm saying? Now, if we got our young guys and we're developing, cool. But what about those 3 or 4 years? It's like, okay, we start seeing most of our young guys peak. So we already know where they at. Some of them have peaked more than others, right? And then it's like, damn, you know what? We got a little good core here. If we just move a couple of these dudes, we could go get this dude and possibly compete. Sort of like what Indiana did, right? With Spicy P. Sometimes that shit happens, bro. Sometimes niggas develop and be good, and sometimes the organization will be like, yeah, well, they're good, but I don't know if they're going to get us to that next level. So I want to move him and him for him. That happens. That's a part of the game. That's a part of the NBA. Not saying that's what I want to happen, but that's always an option, right? I mean,
yeah,
organizations are always going to keep their eyes open. You feel what I'm saying? Especially when they feel like, hey, if I can make this 1 or 2 moves, then we could possibly be contenders. Feel me? They ain't going to do it like in the development years. They don't really give a fuck because they want to see what they got. But once they feel like they pass the development years and they're ready to contend, and they know that most of these guys that they got have peaked, and they know what they
Yeah.
got, they might want to move a couple of guys to tweak the team. That's just how
Yeah,
shit go.
but all right, but hold on, but ain't no success in that. And hold on, we're gonna go to PT, but I just want to say to add to what you were saying, Joey BK, it wasn't no success in that. And again, why do that knowing that the risk that you're taking? And again, trust me, I imagine that he felt like, yo, if I get this play, basically he gave free agents too much power. And I don't think he makes that same mistake next time. I think he's going to be in a situation next time like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I'm the one who got the leverage. I am the one who doesn't have to, you know what I mean,
Right.
at these
But
negotiating
Breeze,
tables. I'm the
it
one
doesn't
that's
always
really
gotta be
picking up.
for a
You know what I'm
superstar
saying?
though,
Like,
my nigga.
I
It
think
don't
he's going
always
to
gotta
have.
be for a superstar. We could do
Look,
a trade for a guy that's a good role player or a
nah, but
little
what I'm
above
saying,
average role player.
listen, but before y'all could give me a player about who it is, I'm going to tell you 10 reasons on why you should keep a Jalen Wilson. But again, like I said, I don't want to be long-winded. We're gonna go to PT, man. Talk to us, PT. Look, are you here? What we talking about, man? You
PT,
you
what's
want
the
to get
word?
into the title, man? What's going on?
Yeah,
How you doing, man?
you need players like Jalen Wilson, and you need players that's gonna run through a brick wall for you. You got to draft those players. You know what I mean? Like if you draft those players, they'll run through a brick wall for you. If you have to sign them in free agency, now the GM has to run through a brick wall for them. Like we've seen it with Darren Williams. We've seen it with KD. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got to do so much to make them happy because they're not really home organically. You know what I mean? And the length of the rebuild is going to depend on what those other picks do. Because
Right.
I came on here to apologize to VJ Edgecombe. I've been watching his fucking I've been watching his fucking
He that nice? He that
Olympics.
cold? He that cold?
Yo, he's different, man. He's different. He's on a team with NBA players, like legit NBA starters, and he's the best player on the team. Like Bahamas is competing in games, yo,
What team?
beating
What team he on?
Serbia and shit like that, yo, because of him.
What team he
Because
on?
of
We don't
him,
know.
this kid,
We
yo,
don't.
he's like Westbrook with a jumper,
He's
All
Westbrook
right,
with
so
a
hold
jumper.
on. What position he play? PT,
shooting guard.
shooting guard. All right, let
Yo,
me say this. Hold on. I just want to
I,
say this to
I
your
know where
point.
you're going with it.
No, I think
Don't say it until you go watch the tape. I'm not
no.
telling you
Hold
about summer
on.
league.
No. Let me say what
It's
I was
the
gonna say.
You see?
Hold on.
Olympics.
You see,
No,
Breeze? You
let me
see?
say.
You
Let me
see?
no.
You see?
Hold on. Let me say what I was gonna say. Because again, I gotta. I'm not gonna say walk back, but I would say that I could see the point of it. Like when me and Leaf was going back and forth. But this was last season. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to bring context to the conversation. Last season, I was saying we shouldn't try to make Cam Thomas a one, make him a two. And the more I'm hearing about this draft, this and that, and I was watching highlights earlier, and they were showing all of the dimes that Cam Thomas had, all of the assists he had, and most of them were off of the pick and roll to Clax or Daron Sharp or a big man, right? So I'm saying that to say, if we got a VJ Edgecombe, if Cam Thomas went to the one and he was a two, I wouldn't be mad at that. But I don't know where we would draft a VJ Edgecombe. You know what I'm saying? But is he a top two or like Cooper Flag and Bailey, or he top five? What is he?
Hey, I don't know, but he's better to me. To me, he's better than Jalen Harper. Like this dude. This dude is a flat out animal. Like I'm not. He's not regular. You what? I went back and watched the game of the entire game. That's how good he is. The game of him versus IMG. His Lou High in Long Island versus
Hold on, PT.
IMG. He's
Can you
different, man.
hold on? Can
He's
you talk about PT? I don't mean to cut you off. I just want you to address this comment from Jay from BK. I'll read it. He says VJ is nice, but Cooper Flag shut his ass down when they played. Can you address that comment?
it's possible. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have the size like Cooper Flag. Like to me, Cooper Flag is like a super. If you gave the some kind of like steroid to the super soldier serum to like one of these white players. Like he does everything. He dunks on you. He's got handle. But when it comes to like dragging your team back to winning, and I'm watching Edgecombe versus grown 30-year-old men, and he's dominating. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like for me, the dream would be to get Ace Bailey. And now I'm like, yo, and the last show, I was like, no, we can't. If we get Edgecombe, it's a failure. No. Yo, watching him in the Olympics, that dude is different, man. Different.
So hold on. So okay, I imagine you talking more slow on the offensive side of the ball, but what about as a defender? How you play?
He's good on defense too. He's like, I'm telling you, he against IMG, he caught 2 blocks at the end of the game, man, or defensive stops. He might not have blocked the ball, but like he got the rebound and go, and he wasn't even that tall. He's not even that big. There's bigger dudes on these elite schools, and yo, I'm telling you guys, if you watching the Olympics, that's a rare chance to look at these young guys that's 18, 17 play against grown ass men with shit on the line, like on global national TV. And he's doing that, man. Like, yo, I'm shocked, man. I can't say much more than that, because I just was saying that it'd be a failure to get him. But yo, if you come away with Ace Bailey and him, the rebuild is over. Those guys is ridiculous, yo.
And so hold on. No, easy. Can you ask PT the same question that you asked us about the rebuild and when we ready? I forgot how you asked the question. Can you just ask him real quick, easy?
Well, it's a 2-part question. So PT, so with everything you just said right there, right? And let's roll with your scenario, that how you have it fit in your head, right? How you see the Brooklyn Nets playing out. When I know it's hard to project into like 2026 in those seasons, like the season after this one. I know it's hard to project that far, but the first question to the 2-parter is, when is the earliest do you see us contending for a championship? So like contending, not like we are a championship team, but like we're in the contention.
The soonest, it depends on what happens this year. Like 2025 means a lot. And it's not just we have to do our part, and you know, we gotta be the worst team in the NBA next year. Just next year, right? But then if you have one of the Knicks or the Bucks fall apart, and they add and they give you more, you know, lottery balls. Now you can start dreaming about getting like 1 or 2 of these guys. If you could get 2 elite players out of this draft, right? Now you could go into not 2025. You don't really want to spend it next year. It's the year after, 2026. You can now go into that summer and bring in a few players like that just make the team better. And you got two stud players, and then you also have nice pieces. You have Cam, who you always need scoring in the NBA. You always need scoring in the NBA, so you always gonna need a Cam. There's always gonna be a role for Cam Thomas. There's always gonna be a role for him, and he's gonna play heavy minutes. But what you do with the rest, it all, you know what I mean? You could come back. You could do a OKC and be in contention very, very quickly. Like, look what they did. They added a Hartenstein. They added a Hartenstein to their team. They're gonna be different next year, yo. That rebuild was done in 4 years.
4 years. But
So,
again, Presti, trusting a rebuild from Presti, 4 years is solid. That's a solid window, a 4-year window. But I like what PT said. Go ahead, Easy. We listening.
real quick. So PT, if you're saying it, so real quick, just for clarity, you're saying like it might take us like 4 to 5 years to officially contend.
Yeah, it depends, because you need 2. The those rebuilds always look like your Shaq and Penny, your KD and Russ. You know what I'm saying? You need 2 and potentially you need 3 if you're looking at the OKC model, right? Now you get those 2 in the draft. Next year you could get a third, like really, really good player because we have so many picks. Even our second rounder is basically a first round pick potentially. So, but if next year's draft you do well, you could turn into that team, and because New York is not OKC, New York can attract your third superstar or that like an OG Anunoby type player that finishes the construction. You could do that in 2-3 years and be back. It just depends on what happens next year. You need to be lucky, and you need to be really bad. You know what I mean? If you do that, son. Look what happened to us. Look how fast we helped the Celtics rebuild. The Celtics was in Jalen Tatum's rookie year was in the finals. Was in the Eastern Conference Finals or the finals. I forget. But
Eastern Conference
they were
Finals.
successful out off rip. They just it took them a long time to actually win the title. But they've been to a couple of finals, and those guys are young. So if you could find your Jason Tatum and your Jaylen Brown in next year's draft, then you could grow from there.
All
Right.
right.
Hold on. Let me ask the panel a question. We can start with Leaf since he just got here. Shout out to PT, Easy, and Joey BK. Boston Celtics did something rare and actually kept them together for all of these years, which is smart because of the draft picks that they were, the lottery picks that they were. But Willa, do you think that the Brooklyn Nets learned their lesson and Sean Marks jumps in that draft pick driver's seat and makes the draft picks priority and stays with these draft picks that we tanking for 6, 7, 8 years before we get it right?
You asking me that
Me
question?
first. I'm asking you first.
Well, the answer is no. First and foremost is because it with this new CBA, like the thing is like with multiple draft picks, with us having our own draft picks and having the draft picks of I guess the Knicks and all other teams we got. The thing is that we're not gonna like. The thing is that like notice that people keep saying about bringing up the Celtics. They as far as I'm concerned, they was the only 2 draft picks on this team that won the championship this year. Marcus Smart, he was another one of them draft picks that been around, but they got rid of him, and they picked up Drew Holiday, Derek. I think they got Derek White for Josh Richardson, who wasn't drafted to their team. They got Porzingis, who wasn't drafted to their team, and Ben Al Horford, who wasn't drafted to their
But no,
team.
you saying no, but why wouldn't the Brooklyn Nets? I mean, listen, this is what and let me be specific. They're tanking, intentionally being bad so we can get these specific players. Why are you not keeping these players? What's in the CBA rule? Like, don't spin me. What's in the
I'm
CBA
not
rule?
gonna spin you. I'm gonna answer the question. What's in the CBA rule is basically we could all like when according to this CBA, and then CBA is going to change in the next maybe 6 to 7 years or something like that. But according to this CBA, bro, like this CBA, basically the setup is to win have two legitimate draft quote unquote draft picks, and basically the rest of your team is like kind of fill in players that's going to fill the other spots. Now the thing is, now we done ourselves somewhat of a service by signing a good service by signing Claxton to a 4-year $100 million deal. That's not a max because he's not a first round pick. He's a second round pick. Now to say if we the next 2 players that we signed is Claxton.
So
Hold on, I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna land the plane. Hold on.
I'm not asking you to lay the plane. I'm asking you a question. So part of the reason to the CBA doing that's the Jalen Brunson effect. Like, yeah, I could take the big money, but I'm not, so we could get other good players. I'm saying that to what your conversation is about the CBA rules. Jalen Brunson did something to avoid the CBA rules so they still can get talent. which I think is corny because they ain't keep Isaiah Hartenstein.
Well,
But
no,
whatever.
no, no. The thing is that the Jalen Brown 330 million contract don't even kick in yet, so they haven't really dug into that money. That's an extension.
No, no,
The
no, not
same
Jalen Brown, Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson. What you mean about Jalen Brunson?
Jalen
Say
Brunson, he took small money so that way it looked like the Knicks could sign other big contract like
They got more.
OG or
They got more
whatever.
yeah.
cap flexibility.
Right,
Well,
right,
yeah,
right, right.
cap
That's what
flexibility,
I'm saying.
but the
Right.
reality,
But
the
what I'm
reality.
saying is, I think it's corny because they didn't sign Isaiah Hartenstein. They try to make it seem like that wasn't part of Jalen Brunson's success. And you're gonna see how important he was. And you, like you said, the OKC got him. Watch how the plus or minus is kind of like
Right.
Kawhi Leonard on the Raptors type shit.
Yeah,
So what
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying?
But I think, well, first off, Jalen Brunson signed the deal that he signed, bro, to make sure that he hits the 10-year eligibility, so that way he'll be eligible for 400. What he doesn't know is something that I already know, is that his head coach is a fucking grim reaper and he ain't gonna make it that far. So the thing is like, that's a whole different story. But to answer
Oh
your
my
initial,
god.
the answer, no, God ain't gonna help them niggas, bro. Like that's out. So the thing is, to answer your initial question, basically, it seemed in hindsight, I guess, well, not in hindsight, in retrospect, how we would build the rest of our team, bro. Like in terms of the draft picks, is the draft picks we already have, like just I give you a basic example. Cam Thomas is
Yeah,
a first
obviously,
round
yeah.
pick. Cam Thomas is a first round pick. Clowney is a first round pick. We'll be able to sign them to max extensions, kind of like how the Boston Celtics signed Jalen Brown and JT to max extensions. But
Right.
we basically got Claxton for cheap. Everybody else is going to have to be fillers on a team, and they most
Right.
likely ain't going to be draft picks.
Hold on. Leave to PT's talking point. This was I think a week ago or whatever. He was saying we was going to have some cap space going in the next season. I even seen something like that on Twitter too, saying that we were going to be one of the better teams with cap space. So I don't
Yes.
think we got a trip on none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit gonna go smooth for the Brooklyn Nets.
But yeah, it is going to go smooth because we being careful about who we pay. That's
Wait,
the
hold
one
on,
thing
hold on,
about it. We're
Hold
being
on,
a little bit
PT.
more careful about who we pay.
hold
Yeah,
on.
that obviously. Hold on, PT. You know what I'm talking about? You remember you were saying that, or am I
Yeah,
tripping?
they're gonna in 2025 summer they're gonna have damn near close to 90 mil, but they shouldn't spend it in 2025. It's 2026 they should spend that money.
They
All
they
right,
don't
so
got
tell us,
they
tell us,
don't
tell
have
us
they don't
now
have
though.
no they don't
Hold
have
on,
no
They don't
choice
got
but to
choice.
hold
spend
on,
it,
hold on,
bro.
hold on,
You
nah,
got to
but hold
spend
on.
you got to spend.
Hold on, Lee.
I know you gotta have
Let
75. You gotta have 75%. You're gonna pick some. You're gonna do things like take some bad
80.
contracts, for draft picks and more assets. You're gonna do shit like that, but you gotta target when there's players to go get. Like maybe there might be some role players or important role players you can find. You need those guys, but the main thing is getting the star players. The main thing is the draft next year. Then you can look at the free agency landscape because they're gonna have a ton of cap space. They're gonna have ridiculous cap space. And the difference between the Nets and OKC is that we play in New York and players want to come here to play. That's just the fact. And so because we could attract free agents and because we have so many draft picks and we have so much trade assets, you could build a team. If Sean Marks knew what he was doing,
But
he
no,
could
no, no,
build a team quick.
hold on, PT. I want you to. I want you. We're gonna go around the panel, but we're gonna start with PT. Shout out to Leaf. Subscribe to this page. PT. Jordy Fernandez been in the NBA since 2009. See him as assistant coach with De'Aaron Fox. What kind of players you think he could attract in the free agency?
Real
You
quick,
feel what I'm saying?
real quick,
Like he might have some pull in the league. Like players might want to play for Jordy Fernandez. If don't,
real
and again, I'll say that to say when we discuss the impact of Sean Marks, no, it's the impact of Jordy Fernandez. He's going to be a culture setter. That's my opinion. But
real quick, a team has to spend 90% of the cap. That's
It's not
okay, no,
75%.
oh,
nah.
all right, that's relevant to say.
It's 90%. 90%.
Okay,
And I see Jay from BK's comment. That's right. Like it is the 50 million, but if you could get off of DSJ and Cam Johnson, which is what I expect them to do, then that number is going to be really, really high. It's going to be close to 90 mil. You get
Thank you for
those two
clearing that
90
up.
mils
Yeah,
off
thank you
the
for clearing that up. Thank you for clearing that up.
I'm suspecting
Okay.
that those two not going to be on the team.
Yo, I mean, I
Which
gotta
two?
kind of. I'm not gonna say I agree with Parthon, but I don't really want Jalen Wilson or DFS on the team because trajectory-wise, in their career, they should be playing for contenders.
You mean
We
Cam
not
Johnson,
feeling
not
the
Jalen
content.
Wilson?
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah,
they
yeah.
they in
Yeah,
the right
I
place.
don't want them to take minutes from Jalen Wilson. Right now, I would have Jalen Wilson as starter and would trade DFS and Cam Johnson. That's a fact.
Yeah, that's what they need to do. They need to get rid of anybody who could just luck up and fuck around and turn us into like a Denver Nuggets type of
Damn,
surprise
son.
first
Yeah,
round victory type team. We
y'all
need
trying to
to
have a fire sale, son. That's what y'all
we need
trying to
to,
do.
we need to get rid of these dudes, get them off the books, and get more assets.
Y'all trying to have a fire sale, son. Y'all just trying to sell everybody, yo. Like, yo, go, you go, you go, you go, you go. Like, damn, we just got rid of McHale. Like, yo, niggas was thinking about getting rid of Clax. Like, yo, now we got DFS and Cam Johnson on the table. Yo, DSJ
Nah,
just walked out the door. Like, yo,
no,
Lonnie
you
not there.
want
Like, yo,
Clax though.
fuck all that.
Clax is good. I mean, they've determined the style they want to play. I don't agree with it. I think they need to be bigger, but Clax and Clowney looked interesting last year. Clowney plays like a bigger power forward. That's like the growth of those two also have a big role in what this rebuild is going to be. I don't think you could win in a league that has Wemby without being bigger. But we'll see. This is Sean Marks. This is what he do. He like this type of ball. Fine. But if Clowney could be somebody, and Claxton is perfect for the timeline, all they got to do is just wait this out. They're gonna be fine.
Let me ask you a question, Python. Let me ask you a question. Who do you think is better defensively, Claxton or Porzingis?
Claxton. Porzingis don't have feet anymore. He could just
Okay.
score really and blocks and change shots.
So, I mean, we know that Claxton game is not nowhere close to Porzingis game offensively. Because you said something interesting earlier. You said we see how you want to play, and we don't really know yet because I mean like we got like Jordy Fernandez here and like hopefully he does good like so they like could retain him like throughout, but like we don't know how our team gonna look 4 to 5 years time. Like even if they're good players, like we don't even know if we're gonna have the same coaching staff or the same front office. So like I say that to say this because you said the play style. So I'm saying boom. Is there something like do you have a problem with him having a Claxton at the 5? Like, all right, next question. Do you think Claxton impacts a team more than Al Horford?
No. Al Horford can stretch the floor and shoot threes.
Yeah, why you comparing to Al Horford, man? You know what I'm
Because
saying?
Al
Al
Horford got a
Horford,
lot of minutes on the championship team.
right.
Porzingis got hurt.
Yeah, they got two different skill sets. You know what I'm saying? Al Horford, and he a super duper vet, bro. Nobody can't take nothing away from Al Horford. He the OG, triple OG.
But if I'm rolling with what we've been saying this whole time, we more than likely gonna have an athletic team. So like depending on who we draft, but I'm just thinking I'm thinking on the terms of like Cooper Flag or Ace Bailey. I'm really leaning towards Ace Bailey. So like we're gonna have a athletic wing, athletic forward, athletic center. Maybe we're gonna look for a point guard, maybe an athletic point guard. Then it depends on how you feel about Cam. Some people say he's borderline athletic. Some people say he's not athletic, but he's decently athletic. So like an athletic too. So like we're gonna have a athletic team, possibly have a great wingspan, could stretch a court, good defense. So it's gonna. I'm not saying it's gonna be the Celtics, but it could mimic Celtics in a way. So I'm saying if you do have a team that could mimic the Celtics, having
Yeah,
Claxton at that 5, I don't think is like a big detriment to the team. Like, oh yeah, this guy not cutting it. Now it could
especially
play.
since Clowney can space the floor.
Yeah,
Like,
Clowney could space the floor, but I mean, it could work out to a detriment because Celtics did kind of run with that when they did have Robert Williams, and he showed why his offensive skills is a detriment to teams to a certain degree. So like, it could play out the same way for like us in that kind of degree. Like, oh yeah, Claxton can't hit the mid range, so they closing the paint on this nigga. So like, our guys got no driving lane, shit like that. So like, it could work out into that degree. That's why I asked the question. But like, that's what I'm saying. Like, not to the Celtics, to like not the same Celtics. Like, it depends on who we draft and how they play out. I don't know if like Ace Bailey going to turn out to a Jason Tatum. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if he going to turn out to that. You know, like, and then like if he does, I don't know how quick that going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jason Tatum averaged 30 one year, damn near close to double 1 year. I think it was last year. So like, I don't know if he's going to turn out to that. You know what I'm saying? But we would have an athletic team, good wingspan, long, could move around the court, pause, and fucking could do things similar to like Boston and like OKC. So I'm like, if we got like because you said the play style, so I'm paying attention to the Clax at the 5, and I know we all come in here and talk about, oh, do we need a bigger guy at the 5? Like, do we need a bigger, stronger presence at the 5? And I'm saying,
think about it like this: OKC is going to be the number 1, number 2, number 3 seed next year in the West. Like, look at their front court. It's Chet and Hartenstein, and Hartenstein gave us hell. That's where teams are going. It's what Minnesota is doing. Gobert and Cat. You know, it's like that's what the wave is. We don't have that. We have it would have been a nice size like 2 years ago, but now you talking about, you know, Kristaps and Jason Tatum, like, you know, who's 6'10", 6'11". So it's bigger, and the Nets but just look at our summer league team. We got a point guard, yeah, but we should have more point guards on this team. We should have more centers on this team. And Sean Marks don't like them type of players for some reason. I don't get it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, the impact, think about the coaches Sean Marks had. Yeah, it was up to Sean Marks to pick the players and this and that, but this ain't gonna be the same as Jordy Fernandez. Someone that been in the NBA since 2009. That's a long time to be in the NBA, man. So I'm just saying that to say, if they decided to keep him around for this long, and now he's, you know what I mean, a head coach. The whole getting players that want to play here, that's the easy part. We got to know who to say no to. And I think that he going to want a dynamic point guard. That's why I was agreeing with PT about VJ Hedgecomb. I don't know if we get a top 2 pick, but I keep hearing about VJ Edgecombe and how he was playing in the Bahamas versus grown men and type shit. And I'm saying the last time we really did this was with Kenny Anderson and Derek Coleman. So I mentioned Kenny Anderson because he a point guard, and Derek Coleman, he a power forward. You know what I'm saying? And they like them together. I don't know what they trying to do. I don't know if they prioritizing the position over the best player. Just because they had success with a Jason Kidd and a Kenny Anderson, maybe they feel like they need a point guard more than a power forward. But you still got success with Kenyon Martin and fucking Derek Coleman and KD. You know what I'm saying? You got success with power forwards and small forwards too. So
that means you got to get Ace Bailey.
That's what I'm saying. Like, maybe they go with an Ace Bailey. That could be the only upgrade y'all talking about worth getting over Jalen Wilson. Other than that, and Jalen Wilson putting up numbers, man. Yo, hold on. I just want to say this. These players that we expect to do this and that more than the players we got already, they gotta do what they did. And again, y'all already went at it with me about they're not gonna do what Cam Thomas did. But yeah, just remember that. When Cam Thomas was a rookie in college, the way he got drafted is because he was a scorer. Let's see these players y'all talking about put up the same numbers as Cam Thomas.
But he
Let me
fell
see
all the
that.
way to 20
And yeah,
something pick, bro. The
and
numbers
yeah,
don't mean shit no more.
bro. And Cam Thomas, it translates from college to the NBA.
It did. I mean,
So
let's
it
just.
do
I guess
matter.
this.
So numbers do matter.
No, the numbers don't matter, bro, because
They do
the thing.
matter, man.
No,
So
it
hold on.
doesn't.
The number.
It
And so hold on. Zach Edey, you just like him because he's just a nice guy. You know what I'm saying? He hold like. So what are you saying? You like him because he's a nice guy?
that's not the same situation, bro.
No, no,
Zach
no. I'm
Edey.
saying the numbers translate. If you was to look at Zach Edey numbers, regardless of him being 7'4", if you would look at his numbers was trash. You know, like damn, this
You
guy is
gotta,
bad. Look at his numbers. How is he
you gotta
7'4" and
listen
only?
to what I'm
Hold on, no,
saying,
hold
bro.
on, no. You said numbers don't matter. And I'm disagreeing with you.
No, you ain't
You
let me
like Zach
finish,
Edey because
bro.
of the
Like
numbers.
you just plugged
Wait,
in. So
let, let him finish real quick, Breeze.
my
Let him
thing is
finish.
that
Go ahead.
the numbers. It's not that the numbers don't matter, and it's not that the numbers don't translate. It's that the numbers is translating. It don't translate into what type of draft pick you become. If that was the case, bro, Zach Edey would have went number one, bro. Like if that was the case, Cam Thomas would have went much higher, and he would not be on this team, bro. So the numbers in terms of what scouts are looking for in the draft don't necessarily matter. What matters is upside. What matters is athletic ability. That's what they're looking for.
So the
Like
numbers don't
you can
represent the
say
upside. How you making that two different things?
I'm making it two different things because the thing is like, can anybody tell me what Alex Shaw Zachary was doing? What their numbers was looking like before they coming into the draft? Does anybody know? What about the number one pick from the last year? What about Paulo? What was Paulo doing numbers wise? What was Anthony Edwards doing numbers wise, bro? Not that fucking great in Georgia or Duke or whatever they came from, because
Yeah,
it's all
Georgia.
about upside. That's why. Trust me
Nah, I
when I
disagree
tell
with
you,
that,
bro.
bro. The upside gotta represent the numbers. Like they not just getting the upside. What do you mean upside? Upside like he's a nice guy. This guy is
No,
somebody
no,
that
the
like
upside. I
what you
mean,
mean
like
upside? You talking
athletic
about
ability.
basketball and the
No, I
numbers
mean
they
like
put up.
what I mean is the upside is after is their ability, bro. After athleticism, bro. They wingspan. But what
Things
type
they
of
can
highlight
improve
package
on.
they got? You know, shit like that. Like the things they're looking for more of a youthfulness. They're looking for a lot of youthfulness, bro. Like in the top 10 or the top 15 of the draft more than anything. This draft in particular, not really so much because it was one of those drafts that was kind of a somewhat labeled a fill-in draft, but I think it was a pretty good draft in terms of players that could fit on a team and contribute to a team. They may or may not be stars, but they could contribute like almost right away. Rob Dillingham, uh, uh,
You're a lottery
Zach
pick. You're
Edey,
supposed to
those type of
contribute
players.
immediately, bro. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. But here's the thing: these draft picks right away are gonna contribute just off the fact that they're going to teams that are already put together. You know what I'm saying?
No,
It's some
nah,
lottery picks.
it's because they get heavy minutes. When Jalen Green, I debated that whole season between Jalen Green and Cam Thomas. They came in at Jalen Green at number 2, Cam Thomas at 27. I always say Cam Thomas is a better player. The difference between them is the minutes. Jalen Green was guaranteed certain contracted minutes
That's
because
because he
he's
was
a
a
set.
lottery pick.
I know, and I'm saying that to say that these players that's not lottery picks, they not guaranteed these minutes. And that's the difference between Cam Thomas and Jalen Green. And I come to find out it's more than that. It's the athleticism, a little bit of the defense, but nothing crazy. It ain't like Jalen Green, some lockdown defender. It's a good thing he got the coach that he got in Ime. But my
Yeah,
point is,
I
when I
agree
was
with you. Jalen
contrasting player
Green,
for player, draft pick for draft pick, bro, Cam Thomas is scoring with Jalen Green. He's just not as athletic.
I mean,
But he
I
putting
like
up the
Jalen
same
Green,
It's,
but
points
it's,
I
or
ain't
it,
taking
more.
it
no sleep over
amazes me how
him.
you targeted Jalen Green, bro. When at the age
No,
of
I'm
20,
just saying contrasting draft pick.
He was averaging 22 points a game, bro. Like that's not to say nothing against Cam Thomas at all, because at the age of 21, which he was just past year, he was averaging 22 points a game off of 19 shots. But at the same time, listen, we're right now we basically apples and oranges right now. That's what we're debating, bro. Like because
No, I'm not
both of them
saying
could
that. But I'm
score.
saying this. What I'm saying is, again, y'all always want to go for the 1 and 2 pick, and I'm saying that to say that Sean Mark's been impressive in the draft. And
He has been
regardless of
impressive in the draft, but I want to see what he looked
and
like at number one and number two.
let me finish, and when it come down to whatever pick we get, I think it's going to be good. Y'all want to tank? Y'all want to? Yo, I'm the one that recapped 82 games, bro. Going 32 and 50.
Oh my God! Here we go. Here you go with this bullshit again.
No,
Yo, I was
seriously,
waiting
This
for
no,
some
it,
fuck
man.
shit
no,
have been. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you
seriously,
finish, bro.
seriously, bro. I'm the one that recapped 82 games, bro. 32 and 50 ain't no fucking joke. Y'all think that shit is fun, bro? It is because yeah, I love the game, but as a fan, that shit was tough to do. And y'all just want to come in and be slapping high fives about tanking.
I don't know
I'm
why
not
you
really with
Hey,
that
bit.
shit,
leaf,
bro.
leaf.
That's
Why
because
you got a problem
that's
with
the
it? Like,
direction that we chose, Breeze.
No,
How
I
many times? How
understand.
many
I
times we got to
understand, but
go over
I
this
ain't
shit?
slapping high
We said
fives
it
about
before
it
the
neither,
trade got
man.
made. Every direction that they took, this is what you wanted, bro. We told you before this
I
shit
didn't say I
happened.
wanted us to
Everybody.
be trash and go for 1 or 2 pick. I never said that. All I said was Sean Marks is good in the draft, and whatever draft pick he get,
And
we want to. Hold on, and we was getting certain players like Kessler Edwards. He was a miss, right? But we got Jalen Wilson, and we got Claxton, and Dayron Sharp. Like we got Gary Whitehead. He missed on that
Cam
as
Thomas.
of now, right? But he's been getting draft picks in a rookie year. You feel what I'm saying? So
right.
and again, if you know the Nets, you know that the Long Island Nets is one of the better teams in the G League, and they know how to play and develop. And I think the Long Island Nets is part of the reason why they making this decision. When you think about the
Player
hold on,
develop to what?
let me finish. The Long Island Nets been successful these same seasons that the Brooklyn Nets haven't been successful, and they focus more on player development. So I think Sean Marks took a page out of the Long Island Nets book, like, yo, maybe we should do this. I'm telling you,
Sean
he
Marks.
cleaned up that mess. I'm telling you, it's gonna be good for
We
me.
ain't really have a choice, man.
Sean, he really didn't have a choice, bro. It seemed like, bro, he was doing the same shit that Pat Riley was doing when he was taking no name niggas and putting them in the same fucking lineup as Jimmy Butler. They had an undrafted fucking backcourt and Gabe Vincent and Max Strus who got paid got paid more than what they should have as undrafted players, and now basically they both look like they stealing money in their respective places, respectfully. Remind me, bro. Listen, you talked about the Nets G League team. You talked about all of that shit. Ain't none of these niggas turned into no damn All NBA players. Ain't none of these niggas turned into no fucking All Stars, bro. What are we doing?
What do you mean?
There
What are
is
we
no
doing?
fucking
I'm
plan,
saying that
bro. Please
I'm
stop.
saying them taking a player development direction is a good thing, and they doing it. And I'm telling you the various reasons on why they doing it. So what do you mean? Like, I'm not saying that we gonna get Gabe Vincent out the G League and he fitting to help us instead of us getting a top lottery pick. Let's look for clarity. I'm saying that when it come down to any draft pick that marks, bro, we talking about getting but four different draft picks next season. That's
Right.
ridiculous.
Right.
So what I'm saying that to say that we're gonna use one of those draft picks probably because of the same way we did with Kenny Anderson and Derek Coleman. I think they get a point guard or four. And if y'all saying that Cooper Flag and Ace Bailey is a 3, the question is, well, who's better for the Brooklyn Nets? Ace
Remind
Bailey or Cooper Flag?
remind me again what
I'm
pick
gonna
was
go with
that?
Ace Bailey. He right in the backyard, bro.
I'm glad you said those names. Remind me again what pick Derek Coleman was again.
Bro, the number 1 pick.
Thank you. And what are we trying
But
to get?
that's why I mentioned it. I mentioned it because they was is that direction they're going to go. But it's not the only direction they can go. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. And again, like Easy be saying different shit. Know what I'm saying? Shout out to
We making
Easy.
it
He just,
seem
you know
like
what I mean?
we got options, bro. Like we made this fucking
Nah,
trade, my nigga, so we could get a number one goddamn pick. Plain and simple.
bro. All I'm saying is, again,
I'm
that
not in
shit is
here.
a
I'm
lottery.
not in here
No,
for no middle
bro,
of the
listen,
pack
this is what
niggas,
I'm
bro. We
saying.
got middle of the pack niggas already.
Bro, listen, and even if that's not the case, it's still a lottery. And this is the reason why I entertained PT about the VJ Edgecombe. Because it ain't no fucking guarantee that we actually get the number 1 pick. So I want to know about the top 5 players. I think we get the top 5. I'm not saying it's not going to be the number 1 pick. I'm
I
just
know it's
saying
not
I
a
don't want to
guarantee,
just
bro.
focus on
But
Ace
listen,
Bailey
bro.
and
Like,
Cooper Flex.
listen. Well,
Hold on, hold
this
on,
is
hold
me
on,
being
hold on, hold on,
optimistic
hold on,
about us
hold on.
being
Let
the
me
number
finish. Let
one
me
pick.
finish
You
what I'm.
asked for optimism,
Listen,
I'm
listen.
giving
Let
it
me
to you.
finish. Let me finish what I'm saying.
That's what I'm asking you to do. Let me finish what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is, even if it ain't Cooper Flag or Ace Bailey, that draft pick should still put us on a trajectory to either compete or, I don't know, tank again and get another draft pick for 2026. Because my thing is, if the 2025 is supposed to be so legendary, like they say, for us to have that many draft picks in that draft, we should be ready to compete the season after that. If what y'all say reign true.
I agree with you. I agree with you. If we get a number 1 and number 2 pick, be honest with you, well, I agree with you with that. My thing is just
So
like
hold
to
on, what's
speed
the
this
difference
process.
between 3 and 2? What's the big gap between 1 and 2 and 3, 4, and 5? Like
The
what?
big
No,
gap.
in these players, in the specific players, not in no general conversation. In these Ace Bailey and Cooper Flag, what is the difference between VJ Edgecombe and Ace Bailey, or VJ Edgecombe and Cooper Flag? What is the big difference for it to be such a gap? So if it's like, I don't want to think that it's any. I think it's a good thing if we get either 3 of those players. But y'all making it seem like VJ Edgecombe could never be a number 1 draft pick. Why? Because they project that? Or I mean, like, what is it? Because it's a hype around. I just want to say this last thing. There's a lot of hype around Duke. And Duke always get a number 1 draft pick or a top lottery pick. Y'all know that. And I'm just saying, just because they don't go to Duke, don't mean that a different player can't come out of the draft. Just because they ain't from Duke. Duke just get more media attention.
Bro, you finished? Just to let you know, Cooper Flag has been a projected number 1 pick for the last 2 years. This is before he ever committed to Duke. Just to let you know, bro. So the VJ Edgecombe, listen, look, if you want to go back that far, that's fine. But listen, look, the VJ Edgecombe nigga that you talking about, bro. Listen, he might be good. I never actually saw him. The only players that I've been seeing is Ace Bailey and Cooper Flag. I seen a little bit of Dylan Harper. That was a name that
what I'm
came
saying
up.
is don't say we. I don't like the narrative of Nets fans saying that we miss on a draft if we don't get the 1st or 2nd pick. I don't like that narrative. I think if y'all really don't play both sides of the fence, don't say on one hand this is one of the epic drafts or one of the best drafts ever, and then we got all of these draft picks, I think 4 or 5 in next season, and y'all making it seem like if it ain't 1 or 2, then we missed on the draft. Like I'm not.
Nah,
I'm
they
not
ain't saying
that,
that.
bro.
What you want to get what you want.
I'm not saying that. I never said
So
that,
what's
bro.
the
Like what I'm
so
hold up, but before
no,
hold up,
hold
wait.
on.
The
There's
thing that
no
I
Let me say
said is
realistic way we
what the
could get
fuck
the
did
1
we
or
make
2
the
pick,
trade
bro.
for, bro? We made the trade.
Let me say something
We
real
made
quick.
the trade and we blew it up so we can have a highest chance at the number 1 pick. Newsflash,
I'm
if
not
you go
mad
on
at
all
that.
these fucking sites, the
Breezy,
Nets is that number 1, not Chicago, not none of these other fucking teams. The
No, I'm not
Nets.
mad at that. I'm
Breezy.
not mad at that. I'm
I
not.
think it's some confusion though. I think it's some confusion. Here's the thing, like nobody is saying that we not gonna get a good player if we don't get the 1 or 2 pick. We just know that those 2 guys at 1 or 2 are generational talents. It's a real high chance they're generational talents. We're not saying that the other guys are not going to be good either. You feel what I'm saying?
So that's the gap. The gap is that 1 and 2 gonna be generational players, and 3, 4, and 5 they're just gonna be good players
They could
or
be
great players.
stars. Yeah, they could be stars, or you know.
I mean, I hear what you're saying, Breezy. Like you don't know till you know. So like,
Yeah,
let's not
like
just.
it's early. It's kind of early, easy. I ain't gonna hold you, man. Like I'm not
But
just jumping on the 1 and 2
Breezy,
bandwagon.
to
Show
your
me
point,
something.
Breezy,
I'm
to
from a
your
show me
point,
state.
Breezy,
Right.
to your point, I agree with you. Just because you don't get the 1 or 2 player, don't mean you can't go away with a very, very good player, especially if you're picking within the top 5 or top 10. I mean, it's not the end of the road type shit. I think a lot of Nets fans just want that 1 or 2 pick because they see Cooper Flag and they see Ace Bailey
And we
as
seeing a
generational talent.
legitimate shot to get the shit. Not number 1, number 2. Outside of them 2 players, bro, we see a legitimate shot to hurry up this fucking rebuild, bro. That we try not to last for more than 2 years. Did you ever think of that?
Bro, I'm not going into the free agency. I'm gonna focus on this draft. If it is 3-4 drafts and this draft supposed to be as legendary as they say, that means this team ain't gonna have no duds, no spots where you say,
Yeah,
"Damn,
I don't
wow,
think
shit,
I
he
don't
gotta
think we
get minutes
strike
because
out.
he ain't on the floor." Anytime we put anybody on the floor, it's gonna be a talented player coached by Jordy Fernandez. And I'm saying that to say, if we getting 4 players out of this legendary draft. Yeah, we should be ready to compete in more than closer than a 4-year window. It should be
Then
a smaller window than that. I don't know
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly how much.
yeah.
Like I said, I gotta see some of
If we
this.
get a
I
top
gotta
3
see.
pick, I agree with you definitely. But if we don't, then we still on the development process, bro. Which I don't fucking want. I don't want to be sitting here with y'all niggas for the next 3 years talking about, hey yo, I think we gonna win like 30-something games this season. Fuck that. I ain't with
I
that
don't
shit,
know.
bro. Listen, the Eastern Conference ain't that fucking good. Bro, we get one of these niggas next year, bro, that's generational, and we get right back in the fucking play, and then we keep it moving.
So
Simple.
hold on. Why is it fair for Leaf and Joey to say that only 1 and 2 is gonna be generational players? Why is that
no,
fair?
no. Hey,
Wait,
Breezy, hold on. I didn't say that 1 or 2 are going to be generational players. First of all, we
Only.
don't know. Hold on. I'm smart enough to know we don't know what any of these guys are going to turn out to be in the NBA. But what I do know that there's a higher chance based off of what the scouts, based off of what the NBA world have seen from these niggas since high school. There's a higher chance that these guys are going to be the just generational talents based off their size, based off their skill set coming into the league. That's all I'm saying.
All
let
right,
me
so
go to
let
the
me
Zion joint.
so they all small forward. That's 2 small forwards, right? Cooper Flag and Ace Bailey.
Yeah, those like Cooper Flag really is a 4 to me, but they because of the skill he has, he can play like a big small forward. Um,
Yeah,
same thing
because
with
he can handle the ball.
Let,
yeah.
real quick.
Ace is because he's so thin
Go ahead.
right now. He's a small forward, but Cooper can play the 4.
Cooper is a 3-4. Ace is a true 3.
So no, on the better question on the Nets, what position Cooper Flag play?
Small forward.
Re,
Small forward.
re, all right, hold on. Real quick,
Small
right?
forward, easy.
Uh, uh, it depends. He could be like the game is not positional right now, so like he could play small or he could play 4 or depending on how his career goes, they could even put him if he grow taller, he could put play small ball 5. But that's a loaded question right there. Just like that simple question is loaded right there in itself.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. But again, I think the Nets should prioritize position, But again, like I said, y'all want to prioritize the best
Nah,
player.
hey Breezy,
Le-
Yeah,
I
let
would agree
you
with
know what?
that.
hold on,
You know what? I do
hold
think we
on.
should prioritize position, bro. And I got a brilliant fucking idea, bro, as usual, bro. Brilliant, bro. And
Oh
it goes
god,
back to somebody that was just drafted, bro. Because we
oh
ain't
my
like,
god,
what are the
leave
chances?
please.
Yeah, no, leave, please, bro. Look, yeah, please go get us some fucking help at the goddamn one. So go get us a playmaker that can move the goddamn ball,
I
give some of
know
these
you're not
niggas
about
easier
to
shots.
fucking
Here's the
torture
thing.
us about Topage, bro.
Hey,
Please.
Breezy. Um,
You got a better
organizations.
Yeah.
idea?
Hold on. Organizations usually pick the best available talent, regardless of that position shit. They usually pick the
Okay.
best available talent. Hey, if they don't got those other positions badly, they can fulfill that shit in free agency. But they're gonna pick the best available player in the draft
I
at that
say we
time.
fulfill that
So
shit in a trade, bro. Go pick
So
up that
hold on.
nigga Topaz right now.
Let me ask y'all this: Ace Bailey, Cooper Flag on the team, or whatever draft pick on the team. With Cam Thomas, he automatically goes to the 2, as in roles, as in there's a 1 and 2. He's second to this rookie, or is it Cam Thomas' team? Is he still a leader of this team? Because he the leader next season. I'm just asking.
I think that's a loaded question because we don't. First of all, we don't know if, let's say, we do get a Cooper Flag or Ace Belly. We don't know if they're going to come out the gates, running and, you know what I mean, tearing shit up. We don't know if it's going to take them a little bit of time. We don't know. So that's kind of like a loaded question. You feel me? But I think it's Cam's team. He's the number one option. He earned it until further notice.
hold on, real quick. All right, hold on, real quick. Let me just have the floor real quick, because we were talking about generational players. The gap from 1 and 2. There's a gap because of generational players, and we know what generational players could do for your team. Real quick, let me just have the floor. I'm gonna read out the 2019 draft in the first round. I used 2019 because that's the last time we saw a generational player, or what the media consider a generational player. That would be Zion Williamson. I went before Wemby, so Zion Williamson. So let me just name out the first round, and we take it for what it is, right? I was gonna go to the Jason Tatum draft, but no. Number 1, Zion Williamson. Number 2, Ja Morant. Number 3, R.J. Barrett. Number 4, DeAndre Hunter. Number 5, Darius Garland. Number 6, Jarrett Culver. 7, Kobe White. 8, Jackson Hayes. 9, Rui Hachimura. 10, Cam Reddish. 11, Cam Johnson. 12, PJ Washington. 13, Tyler Hero. 14, Romeo Langford. 15, Sekou Dobamyo. 16, Chuma Dumbia. Facts. Good looking, Pato. 16, Chuma Okeke. 17, Nikhil Alexander Walker. 18, Goga Bidays? Bitter days. I don't know. He the nigga. He the nigga on the
Let's
Magic.
do first names, bro. Goga.
Goga. Right. 19, Luca. I ain't gonna go to the last name. We just gonna do first name. But
Garza.
No, not Garza. It's Semantic. Semantic?
Samanich. Yeah.
Yeah. A nigga that's not on the league no more. Semanich. 20, Matisse Thybulle. 21, Brandon Clark. 22, Grant Williams. 23, Darius Baisley. 24, Ty Jerome. 25, Nasir Little. 26, Dylan Windler. 27, Mifando Kambelgeli. Crazy. 28, Jordan Poole. 29, Keldon Johnson. And 30, Kevin Porter Jr. In that draft, right? Now, let's think about that time. In that draft, they did have R.J. Barrett at a time projected in front of Zion. You should draft R.J. ahead of Zion. But everybody recognized Zion as the generational player. Now, it depends on how you feel about Ja Morant, but at that time, they saying he was going to be a really good player, but not generational.
This draft is going to be more like the LeBron
Ja Morant
draft.
had a better career than Zion Williamson thus far.
Now, let me say this. Zion did have injuries, but when he played, he was very good and helped them get to a good standing in the tough West. Ja Morant stayed a little bit more healthier, but he did play as well or even better than Zion and did more with his team to get them to a better position. But he wasn't considered generational. But the generational talent, when he played, it was undeniable he was the best thing on the court. So my thing is this. I'm not trying to lean like this is not a thing where I'm just leaning to one idea or not. I'm saying this could go a myriad of different ways. It could go the Breezy way, it could go the Leaf way, it could go the Python way, it could go the Joey way. We might not have to get the number 1 or 2 pick to have a good player that's going to take us somewhere. But at the same time, if we do get a number 1 pick and we do select that generational talent, that nigga impacts winning so much from the minute he get there. That 3 to 4 year or 4 to 5 year plan that y'all gave me might get cut down to 2 or even 1 possibly.
Exactly.
Yeah, look how Zion went to the Pelicans. If Zion don't get fat and lose his mind on porn stars. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Zion,
right.
like the Pelicans are in a completely different place. Now you get an Ace Bailey and he's the next Kevin Durant, and you mix that with another talent that gives you the same type of, that gives you another elite talent. You adding that to a nice little foundation. It's, Derek has been disappointing, obviously, but it all depends on that the outlook completely changes on that superstar. Like 2 years ago, the Pelicans was the hottest shit since fish grease. They they're in a different place now because of what the Zion's injuries and and the off the court shit. So it all depends, man. You get that superstar, you write your ticket from there, man. That's it. Like next
I
year,
mean, well, but PT, you could say the same thing about the non-generational talent that was talked about in this conversation, which was Ja Morant. Every year, the Memphis Grizzlies got better and better. When he was on the court and when they was at their best, they was the top two team in the West. They was the top two team in the Western Conference, bro.
So
And they was
hold
well on
on.
their way before the injury. So number one and number two pick, guarantees, damn near at least fucking
Ho-
north
hold
of
on,
35 wins.
hold on.
Hold on. But what I'm saying is, it's fair to say that with these top, I guess, 2, 3 draft picks, the two could be better than one. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on,
Based on
hold on,
just without going nowhere, but the draft that Easy talking about,
hold on,
two could be
hold on.
better than one. So you
Yeah,
gotta.
the two could be better than one, but the thing is, both of them is gonna bring your team instant success.
Hold on, real quick. Let me just have the floor again, real quick.
Hold on, Easy. Before you finish, I want you to also help out Zion and these young players that may not know what to do, because I honestly think he got around some good women, some gumbo, and he didn't really know how to maneuver. Because if you know, like I know, Zion was a mama's boy before he left home.
Y-
So
Yeah,
so
but Breeze,
he,
there's no help. There's no help in that. He's living out his childhood fantasies right now because if you run into porn stars, you're living out your childhood fantasies.
That's
So like,
basically what it is.
so you just got to work that out and get that out your system. Hopefully, he doing better. But real quick, let me just have the floor real quick. Now, this one I feel like is a better example. Now, it depending on how you look at it. Let me just go to the 2017 draft. This is the draft with Jason Tatum, right? I think this is a little bit better, for example, right? Now, I wouldn't say this draft had any generational talent considered in the draft, but it was a draft loaded with a lot of good talent. And depending on who you draft and how they develop, sky's the limit. So let me just read it off. First round again. I'm going to be quick with this. 1, Markelle Fultz. 2, Lonzo Ball. 3, Jason Tatum. 4, Josh Jackson. 5, De'Aaron Fox. 6, Jonathan Isaac. 7, Laurie Marketing. 8, Frank Ntilikina. 9, Dennis Smith Jr. 10, Zach Collins. 11, Malik Monk. 12, Luke Kennard. 13, Spider Mitchell. 14, Bam Adebayo. 15, Justin Jackson. 16, Justin Patton. 17, DJ Wilson. 18, TJ Leaf. 19, John Collins. 20, Harry Giles. 21, Terrence Ferguson. 22, Jared Allen. 23, OG Anunoby. 24, Tyler London. 25, it's a Russian player, Azanshi. I'm just going to leave at the first name. 26, Caleb Swanigan. 27,
Caleb Swanigan.
Swanigan. Good looking word. 27, Kyle Kuzma. 28, Tony Bradley. 29, Derek White. And 30, Josh Hart. All right, in that draft now, you didn't have a generational player considered in that draft, but you did go. It was a whole kind of crazy drama going on with that draft, but Philly in the end did go and pick Markelle Fultz. Now he did have some problems coming into the league, but at this point in time, unless you have to imagine Markelle Fultz hitting his highest potential. I don't think is nowhere close to Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum got drafted 3rd. De'Aaron Fox, he was drafted 5th. Even if Markelle Fultz hit his potential, I still don't think it compares to De'Aaron Fox. He was 5th. Jonathan Isaac, yeah, he got hurt throughout his career, but when he got to the court, you could see he's a candidate for all NBA first team. First team. Laurie
First team
Marketing.
defense. Yeah.
First team all defense. Yeah, first team all defense. Laurie Marketing. Yeah, he got drafted to the Bulls at first, if I'm not mistaken. It was a bad upbringing, but when he got to the right team, he showed you that he's a great player. Malik Monk,
He also had injuries, by the way. Yeah, so
and he had injuries early in his career. But once he got through the injuries, you saw why he's a good player. Malik Monk, you could say whatever you want on Charlotte, but he was showing potential in Charlotte. He went to the Lakers, unleashed, and then when he went to the Kings, he basically won the hands that control the team now. Spider Mitchell, one of the lost gems in that draft. Niggas thought he was going to be a slasher and a good defender. He come into the league balling. Now
he would have won Rookie of the Year had Ben Simmons not around.
So
if Ben Simmons didn't do that bullshit, Spider would have won Rookie of the Year. Real quick, Breeze, real quick, and I'm gonna give it right to you. Bam Adebayo came right after Spider Mitchell. People didn't expect too much from Bam, but now you see Bam where he at and how he developed throughout the years. He became a good player. Now there's the discussion: do you give up Jimmy to build around Bam and see where he could take you? These are the players that got found in not from the top 2, but later down 3, 5, 7, 8, 11, 13, 14, shit like that. So all because you could have 1 or 2, you might miss on it because there is a pressure with having 1 or 2, because when you have 1 or 2, you expected to get the names that the media throwing out to you. Now, and I have to agree to Leaf to a certain point, now this is when you really have to put on your GM hat and your scouting hat and really pick a player that's really good, the best talent. Now, you couldn't go with the media, but the media not always right. So you better do your due diligence and make sure you pick the right pick, because niggas passed up on Spider. Yeah. Spider now could go number 1. And everybody would have looked at him like, everybody would have looked at you at the beginning like, yo, why did you pick Spider 1 or 2?
No, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Spider actually got traded, bro. Like the Nuggets drafted him.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Nuggets drafted him, then he traded to you, so that's a fact.
Right. And I was just adding to what Easy said. If you did a redraft, some of these players wouldn't be drafted at the same. You know what I mean? Some of these players wouldn't be lottery picks, and some of them wouldn't be late in the draft. You know what I'm saying? It's fair. Hold on, let me lay the panel with this question. Again, like I said, if you're gonna tank for a player, then I think you should give him an opportunity to really build with him and win. And Boston Celtics, that's what they did with Tatum and Brown. It's not like they got it together and they won the championship immediately, even though they had success together. They didn't win the championship, but
they've
what
been
I will
top
say,
5 team for the last 8 years.
They did enough to stay together, and I think Sean Marks learned from that. I think he can learn from that.
They've been a top 5 team. Well, the Celtics case is different. They just to remind you, they've been in the conference finals ever since IT in 2017. It's 2024. They just now won the championship, bro. Like on the scale of a team that's been knocking at the door for and on Eastern Conference Finals for that long, and for them to win a championship right now, no, I don't think that's only been heard of back then when player movement wasn't really a thing. You know what I'm saying? So like that's really one of them things like from back in like the 80s and 90s when the team was just still knocking on the door of conference finals,
and that's luck too.
So today that's more of an old school type of analogy, bro. Like today that's deemed as like, all right, yo, it took y'all niggas this long to win a fucking title, bro. Come on.
Hold on,
yeah, but that's the generation.
Why you say it's luck, man? What you mean it's luck, LM? Why you say it's luck?
Because we gotta remember that the year they got Tatum and they got Jalen, Boston was one of the top.
They had
seeds
Gordon
in the
Hayward
East.
too.
They was one of the top seeds in the East, so they got that off of us being bad. So
exactly,
basically, if we don't know, they made the right choice, but they could have chose anybody at 3. You know what I'm saying? So it could have been one wrong pick or one wrong choice. They trajectory look a whole lot different.
Yeah,
So I
but at the
mean,
same time, LM,
First
like
off, them drafts was fixed anyway, bro.
at the same time, LM, we had a decision: do we give up on our season? Do we keep on doing the things that we did that season? Like we just don't care about what picks we get, and we develop our talent. And if it happens to land us in like a playoff spot, like it happened, it does that. But that's what we did. We just kept on going with our season, but we had the chance to just tank or like do better and shit like that, and not give them a high pick like that. We had different options on the table. So like, I
I
know what
mean,
you're
we
saying
could have
about luck,
gotten
but like we gave them that. Like even I hear what you're saying
yeah,
about luck, though. I'm not disagreeing with that, but like we gave them that position to be in that lucky spot. So we
Exactly.
did afford them that opportunity.
we did, and the main reason for that is obviously we know that Billy King trade. First of
Right,
all, if we haven't done that, we could have possibly had a chance to get Tatum or Jalen. If we
right.
could have tanked, we probably would have probably had the third pick.
That's
So
why
I
we
mean,
niggas mad
Tatum
at
and
this
Brown,
year,
Keeping them
Tatum
bro.
and
together.
Brown,
That part. You think that
Tatum and
Sean Marks could keep these
like
players together? You think he gonna tank for this player and keep this player? Because
I
that's a
think that
big part of it
the
too.
play, the player
a
that he
lot of these
tanked
picks
for,
are
he's
high.
definitely gonna keep, bro. The only other players
Yeah,
that's probably gonna get kept is maybe the 2 second rounds and Claxton and Jalen Wilson because they second round picks, and it's
Right.
a strong possibility, bro, that we're gonna pay. That if we're successful as quick as I think we could be, we will possibly pay Cam Thomas and Noah Clowney because they're first round picks. But the thing is, at least before we pay the top pick that we're gonna get out of this draft, what I'm thinking is that the other 2 to 3 picks that we're gonna have in next year's draft is probably gonna be used as trade bait, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you because that's
Hold
the
on, hold on,
Sean
hold
Marks
on.
way.
I just want to add to the Cam Thomas conversation. You see the quote on the thumbnail. Basically, they asked Cam Thomas about his role, and he said he want to be more of a leader. And with a Jordy Fernandez, me and Leaf, we discussed this. I disagree, but you know, if he is more of a leader, he might have to be, an extension of the head coach. Pause. And if that's the case, I think he's just going to be a combo guard. I don't think he's going to be regulated to just one position. I think he'll do a bit of both. I think he'll be a combo guard. You know what I mean? He'll see him have spot up jumpers at sometimes, and then sometimes you'll see him bringing up the ball. Um, yeah, and I like that for Jordy Fernandez being a first year head coach. I think Cam Thomas is going to be one of the players that benefits from it the most. This is going to behoove Cam Thomas and Jordy Fernandez. I think Cam Thomas makes a Jordy Fernandez look good too, and I think one of the favorite players from Jordy Fernandez is Jalen Wilson. I think Jalen Wilson going to get a lot of minutes. I'm looking for him to get like 25 or 30 minutes under. I mean, with Jordy Fernandez being a head coach.
I'm looking for all of these niggas to get 30 minutes. That way I know we gonna shit the fucking bed this season because we don't really like the thing is right now, bro. Like this, there's no real expectations for this team other than to get the top pick in the draft. That's the only expectations it is, bro. It really ain't even expectations at that because that's more of a luck of the draw. But at the same time, you want to build your chances on basically, trying to get that number that spot. You know what I'm saying? But everything you said about Cam Thomas is something that I've been saying for months. I said he's gonna go in the direction of combo guard. Now that the reset is fully in effect because there's nobody else really on the team and we in the youth movement. And Jalen Wilson is probably going to be like that dirty worker second round guy, and I think he's probably going to be work his way to a contract in that aspect. The reality is that
That's a fact.
the only way the team truly gets unlocked is if Claxton does a lot of damage in the open court. That's the only way this team is
That's
really really
easy
going to
though.
get unlocked. Everything else, bro, if we keep running that sad ass half court offense, my nigga, with that nigga at the top of the key and looking for a pass and wasting 5 seconds on the shot clock, I hate that fucking shit. I watched like 60 something games of that, bro, I got pissed off. You know what I'm saying? So like the thing is, bro, like the only way this team really gets unlocked, bro, is in the open court because we young, we fast, and we got to use that because
Yo,
that's
my
just
fault,
as
Lee. Go
simple
ahead.
as that. The only way this team really gets unlocked to a T is if Claxton and Noah Clowney, bro, like start to basically kind of run the break a la Sabonis.
Yo, real quick, because I peeped the comment. Ador said this draft should be compared to the 1996 draft, right? So, hey, let's do one more quick thing, real quick, right? One more quick thing.
You got
One
the
more
floor,
quick.
Easy. Go ahead. Go ahead. You don't pass the
You
list,
gonna break
Easy.
down another 30 players in the draft again?
I'm just
Go
gonna read
let
it.
him get it. Go ahead.
I'm
Easy,
just
finish
gonna
it
read.
up.
I'm
Yo,
just
man, I like this part of the show, man. Go ahead, Easy.
I'm just gonna read off the 1996 draft, just because he's saying it's compared to the 1996 draft. I'm not gonna lie. Looking at this draft, it's wild crazy. I'm not gonna lie. So real quick, Leaf. I know you don't like this shit, but let's do it real quick, dog. Real quick. 1, Allen Iverson. 2, Marcus Camby. 3, Sharif Abdul Rahim. 4, Stephon Marbury. 5, Ray Allen. 6, Antoine Walker. 7, Lorenzen Wright. 8, Kerry Kittles. 9, Samaki Walker. 10, Eric Dampier. 11, Todd Fuller. 12, Vitaly Potemkin. I'm going to go into that. 13, Kobe Bean Bryant. 14, Peja Stojakovic. 15, Steve Nash. 16, Tony Delk. 17, Jermaine O'Neal. 18, John Wallace. 19, Walter McCarthy. 20, Zajunas Ilgauskas. 21, Dante Jones. 22, Roy Rogers. 23, Afitimos. I'm going to keep it right there. 24, Derek Fisher. 25, Martin. I'm going to keep that right there. He not in the league no more. Mercer, he wasn't nobody. 26, Jerome Williams. 27, Brian Evans. 28, Priest Lauderdale. Shout out to Priest. 29, Travis Knight. And 30, Othello Harrington. So in this loaded draft, it had a lot of good talent. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. Depending on how you feel about Kerry Kittles. 8, 13 at Kobe. 14, Stoya. 15, Nash. It had a lot of good talent. If you comparing this draft to 1996, you're saying this is an all-time draft, which each player having a significant impact to the team that they get drafted at. No, damn near no matter which place you draft them at.
We talking about a draft that might have been the best draft ever. Like I mean, when we talk about 1996 draft, but as of right now, as of where we stand right now, this draft is headlined by two players. That's Cooper Flag and Ace Bailey. This headline is headlined by that. Everybody else we're
So
gonna
hold on,
find
let
out
me let me
down the
ask you
line.
this question. How long did the 76ers keep AI before he got traded?
10 years.
Can Ace Bailey play here for 10 years? Cooper
Yes.
Flag for 10 years?
In
There's
the
no
East,
question.
absolutely. I mean,
Why you say it like
look,
that though, Breezy? Like why
No,
you
I'm just saying. I never seen him play college basketball. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on.
I put it to you this way. You got to the way that play, even though player movement has kind of been a thing in the previous CBA, this CBA kind of prevents it because of the bags that's being handed out. When you see niggas with 5 year, when you see first round picks, when you see niggas with 5 years, 270, bro, on a max rookie deal, only first round picks is getting that. A la Scotty Barnes, a la Franz Wagner, a la Kate Cunningham. I mean, don't get me wrong; those are some shit franchises, but I mean, it is what it is. Them niggas gonna be locked up for quite some time. And I said that to say, bro, this new CBA kind of prevents it. So if we get a Cooper Flag or Ace Bailey, not to bash your head in with them names, but if we get that and them niggas show out in the first 2 to 3 years, that third year, that's when they gonna get crazy pay, and that's when they gonna get 200 something max or close to maybe something close to maybe 300 max because the TV money is going up. By the way, Cam Thomas is never gonna see that money ever. So but at the same time, the thing is that's what holds a lot of these players down for a lot of the years with their respective franchises. So just look out for those max rookie contracts, but because that's what these players is going to get, especially like the top 5 or top 10 picks.
Hold on, I just want to say this in Cam Thomas' defense. He was asked about his contract. He said, "I ain't even worried about the contract. He ain't even thinking about money right now, so he ain't worried about no TV deals or nothing like that. He just focused on playing basketball, and that's what we need for the Brooklyn Nets brand of basketball. If somebody not worried about contracts, not the media, just locked in, tapped in about basketball, bro. Trust me, he ain't just wait, bro." Just wait. And again, shout out to Easy for the draft pick conversation. But again, some of those players, the draft don't always get it right. It'd be late round draft picks better than lottery picks. And that's a fact.
And how often does that happen?
I'm
I
not
mean,
saying I don't know the
I
percentage, but it
mean,
happens.
I just read off 3 drafts, and it happened in 3 drafts, so it happens pretty often. Sometimes, like you gonna let a player slip through your fingertips. You gonna think like, oh, I ain't gonna pay attention too much about this player. Then come to find out, yeah, you should have been putting all your mind and body and attention to this guy right here because he's the truth. Why does
You
Kobe
you
B.
Wait,
Bryant
but
go to slide down to 13?
most
you
of
Why
the
does
you
why
you
the
players
Knicks
you
go
that
to
you
slide
yeah
down to
yeah you
13?
That's
you
a
you
that's
did
a
you
that's
did
m-
you did say that, but my in our case, when we look at players like Clowney and Cam Thomas, who was picked outside of the lottery, picks outside of the lottery, they was picked in the 20s. How often do niggas in the 20s? How often are that's picked in the 20s are better than niggas that's picked in the top 5 or the top 10? Go ahead, I'll wait.
Listen, 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 listen,
rarely
listen.
often.
Hold on. To my point, Detroit Pistons, they got a top 5 pick with I think a Saul Thompson. They got Jaden Ivey, he's a top 5 pick, and I think they got number 1 Katie Cunningham. Bro, them top lottery picks, we would if you a Detroit fan and you know those are your picks that you got on paper, you would think they would have a good team. They don't. So what I'm
But it's
saying is
not
I
just
don't
because
want
of
to be
the
that
players,
team.
Breezy. It's not because of
Huh?
the players though, Breezy. I think it's because of the. I think it's over. Detroit's problem is overall. It's not the picks that's really the issue. Because Cade is a good player,
Coaching
Ivy is a good
staff.
player, Jalen Duran is a good player. It's their coaching staff. They haven't had a good coach in years. You have to. They have to clean house everywhere. It's not just the draft picks. It's the coaching staff. Is their assistant coaches.
I
It's
think
certain
JB
systems
Bickerstaff
on.
gonna be all right over there though. They're just
I think Bricker stuff is gonna get them right, but
to put it
I
out.
think it's the matter of you can have the high to Lee's point. It's rare that you see 20, 21, 27 picks better than the lottery picks. Like Kobe was a
And you can
lottery
have
pick.
mid picks, bro, and have 4
De'Aaron,
coaches in 2 years, bro. So I mean, it is
right?
what
Like
it is.
lottery picks, those are the dudes, especially in that 2017 draft. I listen, Tatum at Duke was we knew once Tatum got here, he was gonna ball out.
He was gonna
Like
ball.
that was
That's a
something
fact.
that was
LM, let me ask
already.
you.
they thought Markel
Hold on,
Fultz
let
was
me ask.
better than
Tatum,
him.
man. Tatum was
Hold
the
on,
best
LM,
player in that draft, man, from day
let me
one.
ask LM. Let me ask LM a question.
And De'Aaron
Bro,
Fox too. But go ahead.
hold on, let me ask you this question, LM.
All right.
From a coaching perspective, when should Jordy Fernandez have this team ready to compete for a championship? Like, how long
I
do we
was.
go through play? All right, no. A better question is, how long do we play and develop with a new head coach?
Not that long,
I.
bro.
I don't, yeah, I don't think it's not that long. Listen, if whoever said if this
It
compared to the
depends
90
though.
96 draft, if we get Ace or Cooper or whatever, and they pan out to be hymns, not that long. I think that even rushes the process. We
I
could
think we
possibly
was
go
the
from
best example that was used, bro, was the Zion and Ja draft, bro, because this
right.
draft, as I said, is headlined right now by 2 players. If you know the rest of the niggas, bro, like not everybody else know. They not world renowned right now. That the way that they're gonna be this time next year when all of the picks come off the board and then we see everything how it land. So realistically, bro, like with Cooper Flag and Ace Bailey, you got to think to yourself, what other 2 players out of the top 3 or top 5 picks in the draft was like that going in and ended up becoming them dudes through years removed from their drafts. You got to go back to maybe Hakeem and Jordan or motherfucking Shaq and Alonzo or like what Easy said, John Morant and Zion.
No, but
The one thing that we know for sure is Ace Bailey and or Cooper Flag, bruh, is going to bring you instant success based on the way that our roster is set up already. It's that
I,
goddamn simple.
I'll put Dylan Harper in that mix.
I
I'll
mean, you
say
could. I
those.
mean,
I'll
you.
put those
That's
three.
fine. You could put Dylan Harper in that mix, but the thing is, the names that's being said the most in this party, or whatever it may be, Cooper Flag name has been brought up the most before this year, and within the last 2 years. Ace
right,
Bailey name is now getting mentioned, bro. Like just in the net circle and on Nets Twitter, and we seeing videos that's just like literally blowing, like literally just out of the stratosphere right now. The
crazy
shit
shit.
that he's
Right,
doing.
right, right.
That's
You know what I'm
true.
saying? So
Because to
so
Easy's point in the 2017 draft, um, Markel Fultz at that time was clear cut. I mean, you can do that, read that draft over, but everybody thought, yo, Philly got one. And I think at
but
the
but
time
but
they
the,
had
but the,
they
but
got
but
Embiid.
to me the best examples are the drafts, bro. Like at least the two of the top three or two of the top five picks, bro.
No,
They
hold on,
got picked, bro. Like, and you find where they
hold on,
at
no, no,
even
hold on,
years
Leaf.
after the
Don't
fact.
cut. Hold on, Leaf. Don't cut off LM. I want LM to get in that because it goes at your talking point earlier in the conversation, all about this fucking upside and all of this shit. When Markel Fultz came into the league, LM, can you remind us what happened with Markel Fultz?
I mean, we saw what happened as soon as he got drafted. You know
Yeah,
what
that
I'm
crazy
saying?
fucking
Man
shoulder
got
injury that he
That
couldn't
nigga, that
shoot.
right.
nigga
Yeah,
jump
that
shot
shoulder
got
injury.
edited, bro. That's what
To be
happens.
fair, we even not even using Markel Fultz, we can go with Lonzo getting selected second. I was arguing at the time they should have got De'Aaron Fox
Mm-hmm.
because I thought De'Aaron was better than Lonzo at that time,
Right.
and he cooked
Mm-hmm. Talk
Lonzo
about
when
it.
they faced, and he cooked Lonzo when UCLA faced Kentucky.
Right.
So the fact of the matter is, we do that redraft. A lot of people,
Getting
right?
shuffled
Markel is
around.
not going number one, right? A lot of people is getting shuffled around. I think Tatum still goes. Tatum might probably go. I think
Tatum might
Philly
fuck around
grabs
and go
Tatum,
one.
right? Tatum might go with Embiid, and if that happens, yeah, that would be crazy.
No,
But
LM, bro. LM, I agree with you, but the thing is that right now we're focused on drafts where the number one or number two or the number one or number three is interchangeable no matter what fucking world we live in. So when we talk about John Morant and Zion, it's interchangeable. I don't give a shit what happens the next 5 or 10 years. When we talk about Jordan and Hakeem at number one and number three, it's interchangeable. I don't give a shit what happens.
No, but hold on. Let me ask you this: when the Pelicans drafted Zion Williamson, who was their power forward when they did that?
When
I forgot.
they power forward was Julius Randle. They had traded him.
You right, right,
Yeah,
right.
Julius
yeah, it
Randle.
was Randall.
Now, hold on. To my point, that's a bad decision. Well, say what you want about Julius Randle,
Huh?
but he put up numbers.
Huh?
Now, I'm saying that to say maybe they should have drafted for the position because they already had a good player in Julius Randle. Now, I'm not saying he
But
putting up the same numbers in New York that he put up in the Pelicans, but they ain't give him no chance to develop. He was at least a lottery pick out of
but
LA.
no,
Because they saw
they
from
no
far,
no
bro.
they got
He
rid
not
of
giving the
Julius.
ball
They got
to.
rid of Julius Randle because he was a unrestricted free agent, bro. That's why. So the trade was they traded for more draft capital at the time, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember the exact trade, but Julius Randle was they power forward the year before they got Zion, and then they got the number one pick, and they basically said, all right, guess we ain't re-signing Julius Randle then. I mean, if Julius
They could
Randle.
have got John Moran instead of that.
No, the thing at the time, Julius Randle was not the player that he is on the Knicks. Julius Randle they had somewhat of a breakout year, so he could get some money. He only messed around and got like maybe 3 years, 50 something, 60 something mil from the Knicks or some shit like that. I think the Knicks had signed a bunch of power forwards. They signed him. They signed Bobby Portis. They signed a bunch of niggas that they really didn't make no sense. But it
Oh, he
ended
had
up.
a player option with the
Yeah,
Pelicans.
Randall
He had a
Yeah,
wasn't
player
yeah,
option
he
with the
had a
Randall.
player
He
Pelicans.
op.
was
Yeah, that's what it
yeah.
was. He had a player op.
He had a player
I
op.
Randall
Yeah,
wasn't
bro.
the
It
Randall
crossed my
that he
mind.
is on New York.
Randall wasn't 2010 and 5, bro. He wasn't
Yeah,
2010 and 5. He was more like 18 and
that
8.
was the right decision
Yeah.
at the time. That was
Yeah.
the Zion was the right
Yeah,
decision at the time.
Zion was the right decision, bro, because that now you don't have to spend money and you got a first overall pick guaranteed because you know before months before you got a first round pick because they have some shit called the draft lottery. So the thing is, we're gonna know right before, and then once we know, that's when niggas is gonna start cleaning the house and moving shit aside. So to make sure this nigga is fitting the right situation and shit like that. So because that's what you do when you got the first overall pick. So. It is what it
But
is.
I'm just saying they went to the front court for help and they didn't give him much success. Maybe they should have went to the back court. Maybe they should have drafted in the back court. And again, I'm saying all this to say that every team has their own identity, and you get that from the players that you pick in the draft. The Nets showed success when we had a great point guard. So I ain't mad at a Cam Thomas being the one and VJ Edgecombe being the two. I ain't mad at that. I know VJ Edgecombe ain't one of the two of the draft picks. I'm just saying I'm not mad if we went in that direction because we will have a scoring guard. I don't think Cam Thomas is going to be a pure point guard,
The
but I
point
So,
think he
guard,
will
so
the,
be a
Breeze.
the
combination
point
guard.
guard, the point guard, maybe the point guard that we looking for is in the league already.
No, no, no. Hold on, Leaf. Hold on, Breeze. So let me ask you this, right? Let me go back to the draft, right? Let me ask you this, because you saying it might not be so bad to like. Now, I mean, like, if you get like the fifth or sixth draft pick, you could still find talent that could help us win because we still got enough on our team to do something with it. You know what I'm
Correct.
saying?
Correct.
So let me ask you this. And I know it's not a fair comparison, but let me ask you this. Comparing that 2019 draft, right? Zion Wilson, number one, compared to the fifth pick in Darius Garland at number 5. Can't you agree there's a huge difference in talent and impact to the game that the generational player has to like you have to go for this generational player, even though that other player at 5 is good, that generational player helps you out in so much other facets that no matter which other player you select from that same draft would never help you in that same degree that this generational player is helping you in.
I agree with you, but I'm not taking away from nothing from your talking point. But what about the availability? You know what I mean? It's not
I'm,
like
I
Zion
mean, with
can't
that
help.
particular situation, yeah, like Zion availability, like yeah, like he got injured too much, and then like his weight was too much and shit like
Come
that. So
on,
like,
come on,
yeah,
easy. Look, but think about it. The number one pick last year got injured in the playoff game and couldn't help his team, bro. That shit. Come on, man.
But
And not to mention
how
all
often
the
is that happening though?
bro. I'm just saying that to say that regardless of the draft pick, how the availability in the playoffs or the availability in the regular season matters where you land at fourth, fifth spot. If everybody keeps saying the same thing, if Zion Williamson was healthy, they would have won that game. And
But I think the way our
I'm
roster
just
is
saying.
shaped out is a little bit different, bro. Like with a number one or number two pick in this year's draft, what it does is help. It helps change. It helps speed up the development process a little bit faster. That's what it helps as. Because the thing is, whether it's John Morant or whether it's Zion Williamson, bro, like even when they did get hurt, at the times that they got hurt, even if the teams is intact, which is the rest of our roster is intact, bro, like by this time next year, I personally think, bro, we still north of 30, 38 wins, which is a play and sometimes a playoff team in the East. So it's kind of different, bro. Like those type of factors definitely factor in. Second, bro, like yo, I gotta ask y'all this: do we need 4 first round picks in next year's draft?
me personally, I don't think we need 4. I think we should be good with 2.
Okay,
I
so
think we
that means
need
some
3.
other two. So that means some other two, bro. Like we could come up off of.
I
I
mean,
say
I think
package
we
it
need a
to move.
point. Right. I
Real
think we
quick,
need a
Ellen.
point guard.
Real quick, Ellen. I think we package out of 1 or 2 of those picks to move up in that same draft and make sure we do our due diligence and make sure we scout the right talent and move up and get him. I think our pick should be like for like the top 3. Hopefully it fall into that, but like up in that
Yeah,
area, the
easy.
top,
That's our
and then
deal, bro. We gotta help the Brooklyn Nets. We gotta help the
So
Brooklyn
so
Nets.
we trading so we trading
We
two
gonna scout
picks
them and then tag them on
that's
Twitter.
late in the first round, up in the draft
not to the same
for
team,
a
not to the
It
same
higher
team,
pick.
depends. It
not for
depends
the
on.
same,
It
not to the same
depends on where
team.
the picks at. It depends on where the picks fall at. Because we got the remember we got that Knicks pick, we
So
got
wait a
that
second. Wait a
Milwaukee pick,
second.
and then we got that Houston or OKC pick.
So we're
Depending on
picking.
what
So we're
happens with these
using the
teams.
picks, but we're trading the players that we get out of those picks for a higher player.
I
Nah, I
mean,
don't know. I don't know about that. I
so
think
like,
We
if
getting
one
away
of
with
those
that?
picks fall,
no,
if one of
yeah,
those picks
nigga,
fall in the
it's a
lottery,
loaded
yeah.
draft, bro. Just this year, bro, the Rockets had the 3rd pick. They gave up. Well, they was gonna give up the 3rd pick, but they was gonna give up the 3rd pick. Like they have a lot of talent on their team. It's not crazy to think like, all right, we're not gonna just automatically shoot for the draft. Like they would come off their pick.
I'm
Like
almost 100%
the
positive that the
Spurs,
Houston Rockets is not keeping a lot of them niggas that they picked in that draft, and then none of these past drafts.
but the
I'll
Spurs came
be
up off their
honest with
pick
you.
though. Like real quick, the Spurs came up off their pick and gave it to Minnesota. Like the Spurs could have still just like outright just drafted Rob Dillingham, but they gave it
Right.
to
They gave
Minnesota.
it to Minnesota, and then Rob Dillingham fell in their lap. I mean, yeah, I mean, but yeah, I understand that's what you do at times. But the thing to me is that the reason why I asked that question, do we need all 4 first round picks in next year's draft, is the fact that one, a lot of these niggas are like, even if we do pick a lot of them niggas ain't gonna be here by the time we get really, really competitive. It's only maybe 1 out of the damn 4, or maybe possibly 2 out of the 4. And the reason why I'm comfortable with niggas like Claxton and niggas like Jalen Wilson is because they 2nd round picks. You ain't got to dig into no apron to pay them niggas. You know what I'm saying? They're like that. Them niggas ain't really, setting the world on fire with this shit. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't really got to dig into no
Mm,
apron to pay them.
I was
Third,
right.
bro, like we don't have a lottery pick, bro, like to really go in the apron, to go into no crazy apron and pay. So we could really we could really somewhat quote unquote underpay a lot of these niggas that's on the team currently, even if they do show it, like before they start showing signs that they can do good.
You gotta use
Me
90% of the
personally,
cap
Right.
though, Leaf. You gotta
I
use
think it
90% of
depends
the cap.
on where those. I think it depends on where those picks fall, and what the teams do. Like I think the landscape changes every year. We don't know what the heck is going to happen next year with these teams. I don't wish injury on none of these dudes, but things can change in terms of our pick and what we own. Yeah, we're trying to get the number 1 or 2 or 3 pick or wherever we land. But in terms of the picks that we own with the Knicks and Milwaukee or whatever, if by the grace of God those fall into the lottery by some chance, I already got 2 picks that you can use to solve our point guard problem easily. And I don't think you want to trade all of them. I think you at least try to at least keep 3. But you don't need 4. I don't think you need 4 or 5. I think that's too much. I don't really think you need, especially because we got 2nd round picks too. So I mean, it's like, do you even need that? Do you want to trade that off for something? Like, I don't think you need that much picks. I mean, I know this draft is loaded, but I'll say we probably use our first pick, whatever the Knicks pick land at, and whatever that Milwaukee pick land at, and I think we go from there. I don't think
Hold
we
on.
really go. Oh,
I wanted
whatever
to
the
add to
Houston
that
OKC
element.
pick land at too.
I wanted to add to that element, Leaf. I do think that we should package like 3 of those picks to get another top 10 pick. You know what I'm saying? Some type of way. We got 4 picks. Package those other 3 and get a lottery pick. And just keep. And I will pick y'all. If we gonna be trash, we'll have 2 top 10 picks or top 5 picks. I'm with that.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. If you hypothetically, let's say Milwaukee end up being bad and Milwaukee pick ends up at like 5 or 6, and we land at 2. That's already 2 picks in the hot lottery, mind you. So that's already 2 picks right there. Knicks pick probably might end up somewhere around 23, I guess 24 or 20, however you want to put it. And then we don't know where that Houston OKC pick is gonna be at. Or I think it was Houston OKC and some other teams, but we don't know where that pick's gonna be at.
Houston,
So I
OKC.
mean, if you want to take a risk, I'll say wait to the lottery because depending on where those picks land at, if I got two top picks in the lottery already, like five or two, okay, we got the two pick, and then we got five, and then I guess with the next pick we got 20 or whatever the case may be. I'm not necessarily gonna try to get off that next pick to. I mean, we could try, but if we can get a pick to get to that around that 16th spot, probably, I'm down for it. But I wouldn't necessarily say get rid of all of them. I would just say keep the majority of them unless you got a really good deal or they offering you somebody that's too good to pass up. Especially because this is a loaded draft and these teams is looking for guys that can help their franchise. So they might be looking to get off a couple of dudes depending on where you land. I'm sure if we got two, we gonna get offers for that second pick on whoever they want.
Claude, bro. Look, you mentioning anomalies right now, bro. With Dennis Rodman second rounder, bro. Like, listen, first off, the greatest second round pick ever is in the league. It just so happened to be the best player in the league, and that's Nikola Jokic. So, I mean, you're mentioning anomalies right now, bro. In terms of the modern era, you know what I'm saying? So, like, the
I
thing
do
is
agree that it do take talented scouts because the
It,
fact we
it,
even
it definitely
found
it definitely
Cam
take
and
talented
Day Day.
scouts, bro, to turn second round picks into the shit and turn them niggas into Hall of Famers. For sure. But right now, bro, our scouting and our development team ain't as great as niggas make it out to be, bro. Like, ain't none of these niggas all NBA players, and ain't none of these niggas all stars are setting the world on fire just yet. They not, bro. Like, I'm sorry to say, bro. Like, Claxton, there's a reason why Claxton only got 4 years, 100 mil. There's a reason for that. There's a reason why the most that Cam Thomas or Noah Clowney is probably gonna get before they hit the restricted marks, bro, is probably gonna get maybe 100 to 120, or maybe 150 with the new market. There's a reason for
But
that, bro, and there's a
you don't
reason
think
why.
that's a result of the Big Three era? Because to
I'm
be fair, if they got drafted if they got drafted here and we didn't have KD, Kyrie, or Harden, I think their trajectories are a bit different. Because I feel like they was unfortunate to get drafted in that era where we was competing for a championship, and we all know Nash
well.
didn't prioritize you.
Well,
So
you got to remember the year that we got Claxton is right before Katie and whatchamacallit and Katie and Kyrie decided to sign here. So realistically, I guess if you want to, you could say the same thing for him. Noah Clowney don't fit that trajectory because he came in last year's Wimby draft. This
right,
the same with Jalen Wilson. So the only person you really talk about is Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas was the only person that was picked during the Katie and
and I
Kyrie
guess
fold.
Dayron, but
Yeah, yeah,
I
and
mean, and Day
Dayron.
Day.
But at the same time, bro, like, Dayron is another first round pick. The reason why I brought up Claxton and Jalen Wilson is because you could continue paying them niggas pennies on a dollar, but just because they second round picks, as long as they ain't making all NBA and all NBA teams or all star teams, you can continue paying them chips on the dollar. Claxton is closer to making an all NBA team out of everybody on this fucking team right now. He's closer to making an all defensive team. He'll probably make an all second all defensive team before anybody makes an all NBA team or anybody else makes an all star appearance on this squad. So
Mm,
realistically,
that's
bro,
true.
like, so realistically, bro, like, you could pay niggas basically cents on a dollar, bro. Like, but we don't know how long it's gonna last before we become a successful unit. So we just gotta wait and see.
Right. Even the fact that these players are what they are now. Like I know most of the scouting guys that we had is gone now. I think one of them went to Charlotte, but the fact that we even for late first rounders and second rounders that they even are what they are now, Clax getting paid. He got a good deal, but Cam could have turned out to be a lot worse, and I think Claxton could have turned out to be a lot worse as well as they did, bro. So I mean, they not generational guys, they not all-star guys, but I think the fact that they are what they are, I gotta give props to the team. Like, who even finds Cam at 27? Like, that's something that's I think that is an anomaly at 27. To get someone like him, we could have landed on some no name who's out the league already. Especially in that draft, most of them dudes not even playing, except for the lottery picks with Sengun and Cade and Jalen and Josh Giddey.
Don't do
But
that, bro. They still in the league, bro. Don't do that, bro.
I mean, if you look at that draft from 10 to 13, most of them dudes not in the league. If we talking about Sengun was I think was Sengun was 16, but in the redraft, Cam going higher.
Oh, he
I don't
definitely
even
going
think
higher.
Cam Porter. I don't even think he full size. So for what
Hell
we
no.
got,
Hell no. What? He's
yeah,
nowhere near
Cam don't
us.
even Porter us. So for what we got, the fact that the Nets team even found a diamond in the rough with those guys with Cam and Day Day, I gotta give them props. They may not be generational talents, but I mean, we all know who fault that is. That's why we barely got lottery picks since we moved to Brooklyn, bro. Like it is what it is. If that was the case, bro, if we had our picks and Billy King ain't do that dunk trap, who's to say, you know what I'm saying? We don't got to Tatum or Jalen on this team or whoever the case may be. We had no choice but to pick up that low because that was the end of the stick of what we got. Um, and Sean Marks got here, so
Everybody
I
from the
mean, it
top
is what it
15 is
is.
still in the league, bro. Damn near the top 20, 21.
What do you mean the 2021 draft?
Yeah, yeah. Everybody in the league. Everybody's still in the league. Now you might think lowly of some of these niggas that's in the league, but I mean, like Jalen Suggs is still in the league. He improved. He
Read the
became a.
draft down. Read the
Right.
draft down. Easy.
So look, right, because I'm on it too. So I said from so the top, obviously the lottery is still in the league. Davion Mitchell still here, Zaire Williams,
He's
and
still in the league. James Booknight still here.
James Booknight still here. But I mean, in
Barely,
terms
but
of
he's still
his,
here.
it barely played. Joshua Primo,
He's still here, but barely.
right? Duarte,
He's still here. He for sure still here. Like he's just here. Like
Moses Moody, yeah,
you know
he's still
he.
here, but his role is not really that high as of
That's
now.
because of the Golden State bullshit. If he was on a different
Yeah.
team, it'll be much different. Much
Um,
different.
Corey
Corey Kispert,
Kispert,
he's still here. He a good rotation piece on Washington. If he go to a different team, you gonna
Sengun,
see him
yeah.
right. It's
The
Sengun,
Thunder, the Thunder drafted Sengun, which is actually crazy. But damn, they traded him to the Rockets.
and they
But
trade him
okay,
to yeah.
Sengun. Grizzlies drafted Trey Murphy.
Trey
They traded
Murphy,
him to the They traded him to the Pelicans. He's still here.
right?
Trey
Trey Man,
Man still here. So I'll give him that. Knicks drafted Kyle Jones, but he got traded to the Hornets.
if
Realistically,
he
Kyle Jones got re-signed, but
if
let's
he
be
ain't ha-
real.
if he ain't have that episode, he would have been in the league, no problem. If he ain't have that episode and that freak out on social media, he would have still been here, no problem, no problem at all, no
Right.
problem at all.
Um, Jalen Johnson with the
He's still
Hawks.
here,
Jalen Johnson is balling, so he's still here.
balling.
Knicks,
Keon Johnson,
Keon Johnson traded to the Clippers. We have him now. We see what he's doing. Lakers, Isaiah Jackson. I mean, I don't know where
uh,
Isaiah Jackson at.
I forgot what team he on, but he's
He's
struggling.
on
He's struggling.
Indiana.
I think he was
Yeah.
on the
Okay,
Pacers.
okay, okay,
He was
okay,
on the
okay.
Pacers. He was
Oh
He on
playing
the
yeah,
with
he
them.
on the
Pacers.
Pacers.
Okay, okay.
Rockets, Usman Garuba.
Uh,
I don't know where Garuba at. I remember when they
They
drafted him.
cut
I
him.
have no idea where he's at. They cut him. Josh Christopher. I forgot where he's at. I think I saw a couple. I forgot what team he played for though. But I mean, he had that incident with that. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna talk about it, but he
right,
did what he did.
right.
Uh, Quentin Grimes.
He's still in the league.
He's
He just
still
got
playing.
traded
He's
to
still in the league.
Dallas, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. 26 Nuggets got drafted the Sean Highland, obviously Bones Highland. Um, he's on I think the
He got
Clippers right
buried on
now.
the Clippers, but you know he a
Right,
talent. So if he went to a different team, he would have been getting play time.
right. 27, obviously Mr. Cam Thomas.
Right.
We know where Cam is. Sixers drafted Jaden Springer. I don't know where Jaden Springer is at right now.
He's
Yeah.
on the Celtics.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
He just won a
oh
ring
yeah,
with
I
the
think
Celtics.
yeah. So Jaden Springer is on the Celtics. Suns drafted Dayron Sharp, but traded him to us. So that was
Hmm.
out. So we already know what Dayron is.
Right.
And then Jazz drafted Aldama, but
Santi Aldama.
yeah.
But they traded him to
So yeah, the Grizzlies.
they gave him to Grizzlies, and he's a rotation piece. So out of this draft in the first round, only about like what like maybe what maybe four, five, or six names are not like really in the league or not getting like rotation minutes. Some are in the league but just not getting like real rotation minutes, but they still in the league. So to be honest, this draft is kind of good. Like almost every pick that everybody made got a player that really good for their team.
Uh, Miles McBride was actually in this draft. He was in the second round.
Yeah, he was in the second
Um,
round. He was in the second round.
Herb Jones was in the second round.
Herb Jones, second round.
Uh, Isaiah Todd. I don't know where Isaiah Todd is. I'm not even gonna lie.
Ayo Adusumo. Ayo was in the second round.
Um, Knicks drafted Jeremiah Robinson Earl. I don't know where Jeremiah Robinson Earl is at.
Brandon Boston Jr. Brandon Boston Jr. He was in the second round.
Right.
Luca
Uh,
Garza in the second round. How we feel about him, but second
I
round.
think we drafted Kessler Edwards that year too.
Yeah,
He
drafted
was in that
Kessler.
draft.
Aaron
Sharif
Wiggins.
Cooper.
Aaron Wiggins, 55th
Yeah,
pick, Mr.
Aaron
55th
Wiggins.
pick. The nigga that's giving all the talk right now. Yep, he got drafted
Yeah.
55th, second round.
Pistons drafted Luca Garza, even though he
Yeah.
on Minnesota right now.
Um,
Charles
um,
Bassey, I think, is on San Antonio.
Jericho Sims got
Uh,
drafted in the second round. Jericho Sims, a nigga on the Knicks that was doing work at one point in time for some reason. Yep, he drafted second round. So like in this draft right here, you didn't like really like do too bad. Like you got talent out this draft. You got players out the draft. Now, depending on how highly you thought of them or what they could have been or how they planned out, it depends on how you feel about that. But you got talent. Like you got like serviceable pieces. Like if not serviceable pieces, like pieces that like in your rotation like put you in championship contending. Because like Jalen Suggs, all NBA, Scotty Barnes in this draft, Evan Mobley, Josh Giddey, yeah, he got his flaws, but he was in this draft. Franz Wagner, like names like that. Like I mean, you only really missed on like
so,
4, 5, 6
it,
names out of 30.
so the real question is, since I think most of those players, except for the lottery, I think Cam Thomas has reached, I think, probably not the greatest potential because we see Sengun here, we see Mobley, K, Jalen, those guys, Wagner, Kuminga. But I think Cam Thomas, for where he was at and where he was picked, has over freaking Book Knight, Primo, Chris Dorsey, Moody, and Kispert. I think Cam Thomas has earned the right to, if they redraft, he'll be drafted over all of those dudes.
Yeah, he be a lottery
Um,
pick, bro. Hold on, let's go LM. Let's pass it to Jay from BK. Shout out to Jay from BK. What's good, bro?
Yo, what up, fellas? Yo, I just wanted to say from the comment of trading 3 picks to move up, we don't have that luxury. Like we really don't. If you look at the way people are naming the guys who were drafted and when they were drafted, you can get a generational player in the first round outside of the lottery. You can get a generational
that's a
player
fact.
in the 20s. We don't have the luxury of trading 3 picks for 1 pick because what happens if you don't hit on that pick? I mean, it would be an epic failure. You take with this draft being this draft on paper right now is shaping up where you're going to have lottery picks picked in the 20s. That's how deep this draft is. Like y'all were talking about VJ Edgecombe earlier. In any other draft, he is no doubt a top
Number
2 pick.
one.
Is he
Yep.
is he
He's
number
number
one in
one.
this draft? Is he number one in this draft in the Alex Star this draft?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yes. Yes. He
Yes.
is number one in this
By
draft.
far
In
number
fact,
one in
What
this
the
by
draft.
fuck?
far. But it
And
wouldn't even be a
I'm not
question.
By
yeah,
far?
there would
By
have been
far,
no
easy. It would have
ifs,
been
ands, or
no
buts about it.
question.
No, but
No
yo,
question.
what the
No,
fuck, guys?
none.
No question. That's how elite
None.
this draft is, bro. Yes. No
But
question. You would have went
hold
first.
on. I'm saying that, but I need to also say this. You take Cooper Flag and Ace Bailey off the table. Dylan Harper is easily number one in this draft. And the other kid, Nolan, he's easily number
No
one
one,
in
yeah,
this
no one
draft.
Nolan
Trail.
Trayor?
Yeah, those 5 are easily number one in this draft. And the reality of it is, the way it shakes out over the next almost year, you may see movement with how people evaluate after the top 3 picks. I think the top 3 picks should be solid. Like Cooper Flag,
Right.
Ace Bailey, Dylan Harper, that should be solid. And I don't care who gets what pick where. A lot of teams realize you can't fool around. That's why I respect what Orlando did. Because in I forgot one of y'all were talking about generational and you went back to the Zion draft. I don't know how you skipped the draft where Orlando picked Paolo.
No,
No,
I was gonna go to Paulo, but they didn't consider Paulo generational, but they consider him a ready-made talent that could impact winning. Like I would like Paulo. I'll put him like I wouldn't put him generational, but I'm put him damn near close to that shit. I put him so
the
close to that shit.
I'll say I get that. The way he's performed, he's generational.
Oh, it's amazing! It's amazing! It's amazing!
Yeah,
It's
he's
But
amazing!
insane.
I'm not just I'm not is kudos to the Orlando Magic because up until draft day, maybe the day before, Orlando had everybody believing that they were taking Jabari Smith Jr. number one.
Right,
That's
right.
true. That's
That's
true.
true.
They
That
had
is true.
everybody believing he was going number one. Everybody knew Chet was going two, but folks had Jabari Smith Jr. going one.
Well, there
Yo,
was
Right.
rumblings like I wouldn't say like 2 weeks. I'll say like 1 week right before the draft that Orlando is thinking about pivoting to Paolo. There was talks like not too far away from the draft. Like I'll say like 1 week or a week and a half right before the draft. Like yo, Orlando thinking about pivoting from Jabari to
yeah,
Paolo.
but
Right.
remember, Orlando couldn't even get him in for a workout.
Right.
Like they didn't
That's
work
true.
him out until I believe a day or a couple days before the draft.
That's true. That's
So
true.
we don't have the luxury to take 3 picks and move up for 1 pick because the
Right.
reality is you just like we're having this conversation and people are in agreement that if you I'm not necessarily a fan of the redraft conversation. I get it, but folks are all in agreement. If you redrafted Cam's draft, Cam is a lottery pick
Facts.
and
Right.
he was picked 27. So we can't say, yo, we just gonna take 3 picks. I don't care if they're picks 28, 29, 30. We can't say we're gonna take them 3 and we gonna move up to number 10. One, a team ain't gonna do that. That's first off. A team is not going to do that. And second off, you don't know who's going to fall. Teams look at medicals completely different. For example, that's the number one reason why Cam Whitmore dropped last season
Right.
because a lot of teams did not like his medicals and they thought his knee would not make it. That's why he dropped.
Right. He
But
was supposed to be top five that
he
year.
was supposed to be. But that's why we can't, we are going to get, I don't care
But
where we're
but
picking.
to the point, how many games did he play health wise? How healthy was he last season?
That's a headshot point, bro. I ain't gonna
I
hold
don't,
you.
I,
I
I
don't.
don't, I don't know how many he
I
played.
can. I can look it up. I'll see.
That's a headshot point. I ain't gonna hold you, boy. If it wasn't
Right,
for that
like
knee
Yeah.
shit.
that's why I'm against Leafs toe pitch ideas because notoriously the Nets always got injury prone players. And Mikal Bridges kind of changed the direction of that. That one thing I
He
still
played
like.
40.
I
He
do
played
like about him.
47.
He played what?
He played 47.
How
Cam
many
Thomas
did he
played
play?
67.
Wait, how many did he play in the G League though? Because him playing
Oh yeah,
47
yeah, that's a
may
fact.
not be because he wasn't healthy. You have to
Probably just on the
realize
two way.
who his
Right,
coach
that's true.
was. You got to realize that Coach Udoka is not just going to play anybody to play them. He trying to win games. He came in and he told them, "I'm trying to win games, yo. I'm not trying to tank."
Oh,
Everybody thought Houston was going to stink this season. Coach Udoka was like, "No, we not. We not going to stink."
Right, that is true.
He's never trying to lose games.
I
So
mean, to
him
be
not
fair,
playing
whoever
may not
thought.
have been that.
I mean, to be fair, not to cut you off, Jay. Whoever thought the Rockets was gonna stink with Coach Udoka coming to their team, they just didn't know ball because ain't no way you saw what you saw from the Celtics and think he coming to the Rockets and think he just like, yeah, let's tank. Like ain't no
Hey,
like
I'm
So
I'm
Jay,
not
I
disagreeing with
got a
you, but
question
there
for
were,
you.
hold on, let me say this last thing. There were a lot of Nets fans who argued that we were going to be better than the Rockets. And I always thought that was
yeah,
laughable.
yeah, nah,
I
Yeah, that
nah.
was
always thought it was
crazy.
laughable.
Yeah, that's a comedy show right there in itself, right there. What?
So, Jay, let me ask you a question, right? Because we talk about this draft being obviously generational, which it is. But my thing is, because we talked about it last part, a couple of times ago, 2020. I think realistically, we talked about the Wemby hype. I think once AJ in that 2026 draft. I think teams is going to be taking up and down. I think teams is going to be taking up and down a lot in that draft. I really do think that year when AJ comes into play, do you think that 2026 draft may even be more elite than this one, or you think the
I'll
2025
say
draft is better?
you're asking me because you've not heard me say this and you've not seen me tweet this. I've been talking about this for months. When Nets fans have been infatuated with this 2025 draft, I've been saying for months that the 2026 draft, at the very least, the top two are better than the top two in 2025. And that people are going to be jockeying for AJ and Cam Boozer. They are. And I have seen with my own eyes, Cam, as much as people love Cooper Flag, and I would love Cooper Flag on the Nets, I have seen with my own eyes Cam Boozer bust Cooper Flag's ass. I've seen it. So
The fuck?
these
Y'all really think we lying about these elite drafts coming up, y'all? This shit
2020,
is
hey, but that's why I said not only for this season, I I would like for the Nets to tank for the next two seasons. I've been said that because somebody was saying it earlier. It may have been Eve saying it earlier. I believe that these next two seasons we can get two cornerstone next 10 years guys to put their jerseys in the rafter.
Right, right.
I fully believe that.
I think the
And
Nets
I
believe
think
that thing too, because because remember it was two separate drafts. The trades. The trade that they did with the Rockets, they went and got back the
and
25 and the
25 and
26.
26.
and
Right.
26. And I agree
So
But that's
completely with Jay.
no,
right,
but
I
hold on.
agree.
The problem with that is the Nets general manager put feelers out. I want to say he used Brian Lewis to say that the Nets don't plan on tanking in 2026, that they plan on using the cap space next summer. And I'm like, why would you trade for your 2026 pick back to not tank? Like you have
I
to.
think that was GM talk. Jay, I think that was GM
Oh no,
talk.
no, I don't
I think he blew
disagree.
smoke.
I don't disagree. Oh, let me make this last point though, because y'all were talking about Darius Garland, the talent drop off between Zion Williamson, like generational from Zion
Yeah,
Williamson to Darius Garland.
yeah,
The
yeah.
the the comment that I wanted to say to that is where I think Darius Garland is an excellent pick because, and I'm not comparing them as players. If you already have a generational player, Darius Garland, I think, is the perfect complement. And the reason why I say that, and I think Darius Garland is better than the name I'm about to say, is because the Denver Nuggets have a generational player in Jokic, but Jamal Murray is a perfect complement for him.
Right.
So you
Right,
could
hold on,
have
hold on. Yeah, go ahead. I just wanted
no,
to add
no,
to your point. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
yeah.
though.
No, good. You good?
What I wanted to say is, yeah, I was the one saying package it, but to your point, all right, let's say that is direction, and we do find talent with four of those draft picks. Then I would say that would make it a smaller window, opposed because the window for us to rebuild and then compete was 4 seasons. But if we are supposed to find all of this talent in the next season, why are we not going to be ready to compete maybe 2 seasons or 3 seasons opposed to 4 and 5?
You know what you can do, and this is why you look at certain other teams and the way they draft, and certain other teams know what the hell they're doing, because some teams when they start picking late in the first round, they go for non rookie types. For example, Miami last year in going for Jaime Jaquez Jr. Did he come in looking like a rookie? He did not. Look at what the Denver Nuggets
He was
did
a
when
4 year
they
player too, right? Jay from
right.
BK.
Yeah.
He was 3 or 4 year, yeah. But they that's the kind of guy that I don't mind taking a swing on if you're getting late, just like the Denver Nuggets. They picked Christian Brown, another guy who had a long career at Kansas. He came in and he helped them win a championship. So you're not taking swings on like one and dones necessarily. You might, but you might also get that guy who spent a few years in college who can come out and do something.
Like a Jalen Wilson.
Like Jalen Wilson, right?
Well, hold on. I just want to say shout out to Jay from BK. We got some a new fan on the panel. Shout out to Ralph. We said a lot, man. I don't know what you fitting to get into, man. But first and foremost, thanks for joining the panel. Subscribe to the channel. How you doing, Ralph?
Oh, I'm definitely good right now, but I'm sorry about that because I know my microphone is, well, they have experimented something about it. But speaking about for Cooper, I mean, I understand because they're small guards because they're no longer coveted because they're for a lot of position switching on defense. I mean, there could be like a massive liability. I mean, he was just like a small player who has an average playmaker with a horrible defender. I mean, they took it like the best possible versions of the rookie players, and it makes things like all of the players are better than they are. I mean, I still he's pretty young talent, but at least he's showing his slash because I always thought he should have stayed at the college for one more year to took everything about for the FS scene. It could be like at a first round lock because I know he has a very specific type of offensive player because he was just like a slasher driver who needed like ball with his hands, but he was not that really like a great shooter. But between for Jalen Wilson, I mean, he was really great. I mean, for the last year, and that was like pretty good for the midway for the last season. But he was just like very stellar. But give it like a Wilson like solid minutes. I mean, he just earned for the right spot. I mean, they're compared like at a Jay Fowler, but I think he just cracked
Well,
the Nets rotation.
Ralph, let me ask you this. We got Orange
Uh-huh.
Spiegel in the comments. He says, I mean, Cooper is the only one who played against elite NBA competitions, closest thing to proving.
Mhm.
And to add to Oren's point, I gotta give him credit. You know what I mean? And I say that not necessarily because he could shoot. I like the play where he didn't give up on the play. I think one of the teammates missed a shot. He went and got the tip in. The same thing I like about a Jalen Wilson. I've seen some of that in Cooper Flag. I don't know how good this guy is, but I don't want to take anything away from him. But if you had to grade him, Ralph, what do you think a Cooper Flag is right now from 1 to 10? 10 being the best.
I think Cooper Flag. I mean, that should have happened. I mean, despite for the way as much as it's going right now, I mean, you're gonna take it a lot of shots, but because they have this cracking a bad day one. I mean, so consider about for the ball insane and ball volume. I mean, if they have like it at the game right now, I mean, it's gonna like consider about for the profile into the league. But if he's gonna be like a key piece for the next season, I mean, they can feel it about it. I mean, it just wanted to hope that like it start forget like 10 minutes at the some point of the season, but I think it's gonna be cracking him off with the rotation. I mean, he's gonna get the better bedroom for like another players. but he has like a very higher floor and ceiling on the court.
Right, that's what I'm saying. This is what I'm hearing. And again, to Orange's comment, I mean, playing with that kind of competition it give me confidence that he's at least NBA ready. You know what I'm saying? One and done is the rule. You can't enter the league on some straight out of high school type shit no more. I think this year with Duke, it's going to show the intangibles, show that how good is he without the basketball. Seeing how Duke always got scorers, it won't be just heavily dominated scoring by a Cooper flag. I'm looking forward to seeing it. But again, my conversation to Jay from BK, it was just more the yeah. I'm not tripping on us not giving up the draft picks to get two top 10 draft picks or two top 5 draft picks because
Yes.
this draft is supposed to be that great. I do care about us finding a point guard in that draft though. Even if you don't make your point guard the top 5 or top 10, use one of those draft picks for a point guard. That's more what I care about, opposed to it being a top 10 or not.
I
Yo,
mean,
can
yeah,
I can I
exactly.
say something about that? And this
Yeah.
is who, man, I expect, depending on how he plays, I expect him to shoot up draft boards. But right now, a guy who's projected to be in the 20s, around where we're projected to pick with those other picks, is a kid from the Bronx. People, please YouTube Boogie Fland. Please. Boogie Fland, my God, man. If we can get that guy with a pick in the 20s, yo, yo,
I don't like players
please.
that get drafted home, yo. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like players that get drafted home, yo. They don't know how to
Well,
act when they get
I'm the
drafted home.
opposite. Why you don't like that? Easy to why not?
When you get drafted home, bro, your focus is not all the way entirely on basketball because now you home and you got money now. A lot of things start to change for you, change around you. Like you too close to the action. I think you need to get away when you have that money. Having that money too close to home, especially when you're in New York, I just don't like it. Take for your first rookie years, like first 2 or 3 or 4, like take or maybe 5 or 6, like be away from New York. Mature first as a man. Mature first as a man. Cause you get that money and you homeboy. I know.
Man, I think it depends on the mentality of the player, though.
Yeah,
That
it
is
I don't
true.
depends
think
on the
it.
That is
kid.
true. That is true.
Right.
I think because I mean Wemby, you know what I'm saying. We all know Wemby got the bread, but
That
I
nigga from
think
France
Wemby
though.
is really like, yeah, but I mean, as opposed to
A
San
nigga from the
Antonio
Bronx that
changing
get
they,
drafted to Brooklyn though.
Nah,
man, yeah, but I think it
he's
depends on the player.
he's a Catholic school kid. He's not
Yeah,
he's not nah. I wouldn't lump him in. I know exactly the type of guy that you're talking about. I would not lump him in with that.
Okay. Okay.
yeah, and I mean to Jay's point that he was saying earlier. I listen. I don't know what. Hopefully they pivot off that, but guaranteed that 2026 draft, the 2 players in that draft is better than Cooper and Ace, and that's
Yo,
saying a lot.
hold on. Can I hear Big Priest, LM, and Jay from BK kind of kick it about college basketball? They're the
Please.
experts. Shout out to Easy. He was shouting out Big Priest in Showtime Sports earlier. Showtime on Point Sports. Shout out to Showtime on Point Sports.
Way
Shout
to
out to
get
Big
that
Priest.
W. Way to get that W, Big Priest. Way to show him what DMX does, man. Way to get that W, man. Way to get that W.
So
What
Big
happened?
Priest, just let just take a quick commercial. Let them know where you be at and all of that, and just you know what I'm saying. Just jump in the conversation. Thank you.
Oh, I'll be over there on Showtime, but I'll be all over YouTube. I'm finna increase my presence on X, so um, I'm gonna start working on that. But yeah, what's the
That's what's up.
conversation? What's the conversation about?
Right now, Jay from BK was mentioning somebody from the Bronx. I wanted to know if you knew who he was talking about, a point guard. Because I was saying with that draft, we was debating whether or not we should trade up and try to get a
Talking
two
about
top
playing?
10 or two top 5s. Yeah,
Yeah,
Flan. You know what
Flynn,
I'm
Boogie
talking
Flynn.
I got to do more research on him, but I've heard of him.
I seen
Okay.
Flan I seen Flan in person. He's
Is he a big point
he's
guard?
incredible.
Is he oh,
Oh,
he said he's
I thought
He's
y'all
incredible.
was talking
Say he's
incredible.
about.
incredible.
I ain't gonna lie. I thought y'all was talking about Ian
Go ahead,
Jackson.
PC.
What you mean you seen him in person? Where you see him play at?
At Cardinal Hayes when my son played the earlier game, and um you know they won the PSAL Brooklyn Championship that game,
All
and I
right,
saw
shout out to
them
that.
play.
Shout out to that. That's what's up.
So, but nonetheless, he's a real talent. There's another kid that's coming out next year that's even better than him, and I'm trying
Where
to
is he?
remember his name.
Where is he
He
going to? Where he going to college at?
Going
I
to
cannot remember. He's
Alabama.
dark skinned, got dreads,
He
and
going to
he's
Alabama?
Who?
Boogie Flan was going. He was going to Kentucky. He decommitted from Kentucky, but he was signed to Kentucky.
Dang, why he
oh
did that,
shit, they
man?
announced him as a Kentucky player.
Yeah, he
That's
decommitted
He
from
crazy.
probably
Kentucky.
decommitted because the coach left.
They got a different.
Yeah,
Yeah, because Calipari
yeah,
left.
that's true. Calipari did leave. I thought y'all
Yeah,
was talking
no,
about Ian
but
Jackson because Ian
I,
Jackson is from the Bronx too.
he
Right,
Um,
right.
plays
But hold on. But again,
but
just keeping it point guards. Y'all really think we could get a good point guard late in the first round?
I
there's
think we can fill all the needs in the first round. I mean,
Every last one.
every
Using
yeah.
all
yeah,
four. Using all four.
All four. Yes.
Yeah.
all four,
I
yeah.
wouldn't. I wouldn't
Yeah.
trade any picks unless we try to move up back in the top 10. So
That's
if
what I'm saying though, Priest. Would you use any one of
if
your
we
picks? Like,
trying to move up back in the top 10, like around 7, 8,
You're not gonna
um,
be able to move up in this draft. It's
I
just
think
not
You're
you
gonna.
not,
can,
yeah. You're not.
you never
depending
know.
If
on
you're
where
It's
you're
too
trying to
hard.
move up to.
the
If you're
only
trying to
way I
move up
would
to 8
trade,
or something like that, I think you can. I think you can package some picks and move up to like 8. You can't move up in the top 5, but I think you can move up to like 8 and get a Hugo Gonzalez or somebody.
You can't take 320s and turn it into 8 in the NBA. That's just never. That's unheard of. That
teams don't have roster spots like that. Not that they want to give the rookies. My thing with trading one of those picks, if we have that many picks in the 20s, I'm willing to trade one of those picks in the 20s for a top 5 protected lottery pick. Excuse me, for a top 5 protected pick in 2026.
Well, yeah, that also, if you're talking about, it wouldn't just be a pick. You'll probably package a pick and a veteran player depending on who you're trading with. Um,
Fine, no problem.
so it depends on who you're trading with. Maybe Detroit takes a step and they want to get a vet on their team. You know what I'm saying? There's
But
ways to
nah,
move
bro,
up.
hold on. But Big Priest, just optional wise, I do trust what Big J from BK was saying. I trust that this is a legendary draft. And that with these 4 picks next season, I won't say we'd be ready to compete that very season, but that next season, I imagine we ready to compete. That second season, definitely that third season. But I don't know. Y'all really care? Y'all hard pressed about us getting the top 1 or 2 draft pick in the 2026 season too? Not this season,
yeah.
next season, but the
No,
next
Yes,
season
Breezy.
after
BK.
that. Y'all want to
Yes,
no,
take
no,
2 years
Yes.
in
no.
a row?
They're
Yes.
yes.
targeting both drafts. That's why they make sure they got both draft picks. So they're targeting both drafts. And anytime you're implementing a rookie, you know what I'm saying? Even if it's a legendary rookie, you know what I mean? You're still going to lose. LeBron James didn't make the playoffs his first year. So, you know what I'm saying? Even if you're implementing that kind of guy, the only one that made the playoffs, I think, as a rookie was who? Jordan, maybe Kobe, because Kobe had a team built in LA. So,
did
you're
Paolo get
you're
in the
going to be
play-in?
you're not going to be really competing for anything as far as the next couple years.
No, but
Right.
can I add on to that though? With respect to the 2026 draft, this is the way the NBA does it. They don't reward you for tanking 2 straight years. If
I don't think we'll
we
be tanking. I think we
No,
just will be young
right. If we compete next season and just miss out on the playoffs, the NBA would still reward us.
I
because they
I
Long
gave
as
agree.
we
Atlanta the number 1
competed.
pick and they were in the
Right.
play-in.
Right.
But
Right.
that's
If you
Yep.
such
peak,
low chances right there. That was
the
a
NBA
3%.
will reward you.
That was a
Yeah,
3% chance right there,
and
though.
Yeah,
the
but a
the
top
NBA
10, as
owes
much as I
us.
want a top two, a top 10 pick in 2026 is still phenomenal.
Yo, hold on.
I
J from
look at it.
BK. Hold on. J from
Yeah,
BK for
look at it.
context.
San Antonio
Hold
got
on.
Wemby, and then
LM,
yeah,
hold
they
on.
got
Just for
Embiid.
context. Hold on. We could go around the panel next. I just want for context to because Easy said the 3% thing, and yeah, I just want to add to that. Jay from BK, the other night you on the stream, you said you gave context to this part of the conversation about the guaranteed, I think 13% for the worst 5 teams. Like how did that play out? Well, how'd you say it?
It's usually the top three have a 14% chance,
Right.
and if the
Right.
third and if the third and the fourth if the third and the fourth team have a tied record, then they split the baby, and they have not a 14%, they have 13.25, I think, percent chance, both
Okay.
teams.
Okay.
And
So and
and worst,
even with that 13%, you might not get that first pick. You might get it,
no,
but you might not.
no, but if you're the worst team, they guarantee you a top five pick.
Yeah,
The worst team is guaranteed top five pick.
But
yeah.
here's the thing though. You got two Jersey kids in this draft, and the
Hmm.
NBA owes Brooklyn. You gotta and on top of it, they went to Rutgers for college. The connections are just too great. Like just like they gave it to Pop, they gave Wemby to Pop, they gave they gave LeBron to Cleveland. They got to see these two, at least one of these Jersey kids to Brooklyn. And what we gotta
I
hope
want both
is,
of them.
I would love to have both of them. I would love,
But nah, hold
what I
on,
That'd be
cause
a
want
little
hold
weird.
on, y'all, hold on, Pete.
That would be a miracle.
Hold on. I want Big Priest and PT to give their opposing arguments to what was said earlier about the focus. Easy said he don't want a hometown hero because of the focus. And listen, don't take nothing from Easy's talking point. A lot of the stuff he said is true. But let's hear from PT and Big Priest about what it would mean for us to get one of these homegrown players right in the backyard. This is Brooklyn Nets backyard. Rutgers, it don't get that's Brooklyn Nets backyard. You know what I'm
it's a
saying?
little
So
different when they
PT
come
talk
from Jersey. It's a little
right.
different. Like New York City cannibalizes its players because there's too many rappers, there's too many clubs. You feel like you in the NBA, as a high school player. So, New Jersey kids and a lot of New York City kids get saved and sent to New Jersey. New Jersey kids is a little different. They're in the suburbs. What 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 the NBA is going to try to do is connect all of the good vibes of Jersey and Jersey roots and connecting back to Jersey and giving us a dude because they need, especially if the Knicks fizzle out. If the Knicks don't work out, they need a counter to this shit because they're not going to be good for a long time if they fail. But nonetheless, they're gonna need us in the market. You don't have to worry about these suburb kids from Jersey. Look at Kyrie. Kyrie wasn't in the club popping bottles like that. That's not his thing.
That's true. Kyrie, that's a good I like that. Talk that
You know what
shit,
I'm
bro.
You know what I'm saying? And there's a bunch of dudes. There's Slow Mo. That kid was incredible in Jersey back in the
Nas
day. Like
Reed.
Nas Reed, another one. Excellent point. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he
Like,
was in the club. He just wasn't hot with it.
yeah, yeah, it's not like there's a like you don't want Lance Stevenson.
Said Nas Reed was partying.
Nah,
I
you
said
said Kyrie was in the clubs, but he's just like he wasn't all over socials with it. But
he wasn't violent.
No.
He wasn't going out crazy and doing crazy shit over
Who?
there.
Kyrie
Kyrie.
wasn't?
Yeah.
No.
Kyrie
Ky-
wasn't partying like
Kyrie,
that.
no. Kyrie in Cleveland did a lot of foul things, and I'll say this: that's where Steve A. Smith. That's where a lot of his "I know stuff about Kyrie" came from his early days in Cleveland because he was wilding out. That's where a
mm,
lot of his stuff came from. When he would say, "I know stuff about Kyrie," that's what he was talking about.
Yeah, that
Pictures and
that
everything.
But
that
they
boat
they
that
ran up
boat
on
that
Stephen
boat
A. and
joint
his
with all
talking
the
point
Bentleys.
changed. So
Well, his father let it be known what was going to happen when they saw each other. Rod Strickland let him know you got to stop, and that's why he went on air and he was like, "Okay, I'm a chill," because he knew he had crossed lines as a grown man, and his father let it be known it was going down.
Right.
That's not the only
Kyrie
person to
Pops
run
a
up on
Bronx
Stephen
nigga
A.
too,
either.
so
But yeah,
Kyrie Pops was mad at him.
I agree with the talking point about Jersey basketball players. I mean, Jersey people are more laid back. You know, they're more about their business. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that's a good. It'll be a good pickup for, and then also they can probably still live in Jersey if they come to the team. They don't have to. They probably won't move to New York. So, um, yeah, I can see that working. You know what I'm saying? Um, either way, either one of them kids. I like Dylan Harper the best, but I understand everybody's Ace Bailey points. So, I think if you can get one of them or maybe both of them, hey, maybe Ace, or excuse me, not Ace, but maybe Dylan Harper tweak something and it affects his draft stock. I'll take both of them niggas. Real talk. Um,
If he dropped like that, that would be crazy, dog. What?
I mean,
Wow.
what's the point guard for that what is that dude name? Topic,
OKC?
Nikola
Topic?
Topic.
Nikola Topic?
He was supposed to be a top 3 pick. He fell all the way to 12th. You know what I'm saying? So, or was
That's
it? Yeah, it was 12th. So crazier things have happened. The Cam Whitmore was a top 5 pick. He dropped all the way to 20, and he is killing it. I wanted him
That's true.
when we were.
I wanted Cam. We should have traded up for Cam Whitmore or
Yeah, it would
whatever.
have been one
Whatever.
pickup. Traded both of them picks to get him.
Right.
what draft was that?
Things could rid things have happened though. If we landed both of them, I mean, that would be insane, especially since they playing that
Because
record together.
everybody, all these people seem to act like because he ain't the best athlete that you know he's good athletically, right? But since he's not the best athlete, people act like he's not going to be a great NBA point guard.
Who?
Like Dylan Harper
Dylan Hooper.
Oh no.
act like that, but that's because they don't know basketball. So me
Wait,
personally, I know basketball.
so Priest, let me ask you this, right? Because we was having this conversation. Um, because we know we got our 2 picks back for a reason. Do you think that whatever hypothetically we get Dylan or Ace or Cooper or whatever,
So,
because you said Braun didn't make the playoffs his first year. You think we should tank again for that
I
2026
don't
draft,
think
or
we
we
would
should at
be
least tank?
tanking per se. I just think we still wouldn't be ready to win. We're not going to be a
Ah,
great team just that quickly. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't call it tanking. I think we still will have growing to do. You have to get chemistry. There's going to be a lot of young players too. You know what I'm saying?
right.
It took OKC
Yeah.
a couple years to get there, and they got Chet and another. You know what I mean? In the process, so I wouldn't call it tanking. I don't think we're going to tank this year. I just don't think we're going to be good enough to tank.
Let me ask you this real quick, Priest. Let me ask you
Yeah.
this real quick.
Hold on,
Bree.
easy. Hold on. We
Go ahead.
finna close out soon, but I want to hear easy question to Big Priest. Please, everybody watching, sub up to the page. Shout to the panel.
Hit the
Go ahead,
like
easy. You
button.
listen. Word. Tap that like button, yeah.
Real quick, Priest. Would you have traded Noah Clowney and Derek Whitehead for Cam Whitmore?
Yes,
Okay.
both of those
Why
picks. I
so
didn't know what the picks would
question?
be, but Cam Whitmore is. If you're talking about a guy who was a top 5 talent, but just had an injury in college and dropped in the draft, I would for sure do that. I would do that in a heartbeat.
Yo, we gonna follow this up. I want to give a shout out to Big Priest Ralph for joining the panel today. His first time on the panel. Shout to you and your content. Appreciate you. Don't be a stranger. Pull back up. Also, of course, PT, LM, J from BK, Easy E, And again, man, shout out to all y'all, man. We almost 3 hours in, so I'm gonna just close out because of that. But
Yes.
But real quick, for you close, is that disagreeable?
what you mean? What you mean?
The Cam Whitmore comment.
It's debatable, but at the end of the day, it just going off of what you say. I would take your word because I don't watch college basketball, so I can't really say what the prospect was coming into the NBA as the draft. To be honest, the first time I get a glance out of these players is the summer league, and more times than not, fans like Big Priest, Jay from BKPT, and fans that actually follow college basketball be privy me to how good these players are. So I wouldn't have known Cam Whitmore was better than Noah Clowney and Derek Whitehead, but I did hear there was a lot of rumbling about Cam Whitmore and how he did drop in the draft and he was supposed to be a lottery pick. I did hear some of that, but
I'll trade both. I'll trade both. I would trade
word.
both of them. But if you could somehow keep Clowney, I don't know how, but if you could somehow keep Clowney and still get
I mean, you
Whitmore,
wouldn't have known what that pick would have been. You would have been just trading the picks.
yeah,
Yeah,
correct.
it's hard to say what they're gonna be in after that. But what I will say is, I like the player development in the Long Island Nets, and you know what I'm saying. I think they part of the reason why Clowney got better. Them focusing on Clowney in the early part of the G League, he's getting a lot of touches because he didn't have a good summer league. He went to the G League and they got him right. I hope the same thing for Derek Whitehead. But again, I can't be long winded. Shout to all y'all. I gotta be up early. I know how I go.
The Olympics
Shout
tomorrow.
the Olympics tomorrow. You
The
cover
exhibition game.
you covering that on Showtime page?
Yeah.
All right, shout out to Big Priest. Check out Showtime on Point Sports. Go subscribe to his page. Big Priest is on that panel for sure. I definitely be in the chat. Sometimes I get to leave a comment, but I be
All
in the
right.
chat. Shout out to his page. Shout out to Big Priest. Shout out to all y'all. Nets fans is the best fans. This is be to be continue, man. We need a part two because I definitely want to get a point guard late in that first round. But I'm gonna do some homework, do my due diligence, and I'm gonna come back with some more content.
All right.
Um,
So I just wanted to tell you that thanks for having me on your panel. I know this is like the first time, but I would love to see like keeping out debatable about for the basketball world because even though that I'm just doing my own thing and the basketball it became like one of my favorite sports and I cannot wait how to see how the things are coming for the basketball the Olympics. So I'm trying to do like something new coming out for the basketball for the Olympics. So it's gonna be during for the next week, but I gotta tell you for this one. Thanks for having me, and I hope you're doing good. And of course, I can't wait to see how this one is gonna be developed because I would love to see like how they get involved for the hot topics, all the breaking news about the basketball. So I'm very loved about it, and I know that I just got like more subscribers because I just got 1K subscribers. So I just wanted to take it like a real
congratulations,
moment.
man.
Thank you. And I just wanted to take it like a great moment. So I just wanted to tell about it. Good night. Good everyone to everybody else. So salutes from Ralph in the building. So I hope to see you there next time. So have a good one, folks.
All right, next time you join the panel, we'll do a quick commercial for Ralph. But again, shout out to all of y'all. But of course, y'all know Nets fans is the best fans. We be back soon, more content, y'all. Thank y'all. Have a good night, y'all. Peace.